How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is AgriBusiness Tonight, a show where we get to deal with mods, maps, and the news. Today we have a ton of stuff to go over, and if you haven't been paying attention here on the Mod Hub, we got us some stuff going on here today. So we got some doings to talk about here. So buckle up, sit back, and enjoy the show. We got, like I said, a ton of stuff coming up here. I am joined here by my co-host WillTGaming. Looking forward to that. We're going to be going live here on the full-blown, show here in just a few minutes. I'm sitting here playing on my kind of mess around map here on Zelanka, and we are going to be like I said, starting live here in just a few moments. I see Rail Fanning Jonah. How you doing out there, Rail Fanning? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hopefully there's good mods coming. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we got a bunch of updates today, so a bunch of stuff we got to talk about here on the show. Pippa, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hi to BDD and Will. We've got Ken. How's it going, Ken? Hope you're having a great one as well. Says what up, people? How's your back today, Will T?
Oh, it's going all right. It's going. It's better. It's better than what it was yesterday. I'll get into that here in a little bit later. All right, you can hear me, right?
I sure can.
All right, we are live. Yo, what's going on, YouTube? It's WTG here. How is everyone doing today? Oh man, do we have a bunch to talk about today? Oof.
Oh yeah.
And I deeply apologize, and I posted it in my page and someone else's page as well. I'm part of. We got 57 updates today. I was not gonna go through and edit all of them, so I just posted it. We got 57 updates today because I would have spent like 2.5 hours doing that. So, I do want to start out by saying we are not going to go over all these updates. There's only a couple of them that I want to go over, just briefly. But other than that, we're not going to go through every single one. Now, starting with the new mods, then yeah. Now to answer the question, how's my back today? My back is better. I was streaming yesterday, and I literally could not sit in the chair I'm sitting in right now for very long because my back was just killing me too much.
Oh wow!
I did something to it yesterday. It hurt so bad. When I told everyone I was gonna stream, so I got on stream for at least an hour, and then I just couldn't do it no more. My back was just killing me. That was even after taking the ibuprofen.
Wow! Holy smokes! Well, I told you not to go diving off, high places.
Darn
it. But you knew better, apparently.
I couldn't help myself. No, I'm just kidding. Since we got a lot to talk about, I'm going to jump right in. The very first update that came out today I want to talk about is the Lizard 4420. The Lizard 4420 and then 2/5557 by Actually, I do want to talk about this one briefly because this one changed out 1.1.0.0. New sounds were added, and then 2 new versions were added. So originally it came with the truck itself with like the 5th wheel, and it came with this one. It's the 3rd picture in, but it came with the one tipper bed. But now, in the 4th picture going through, it came with a different bed. I use this a lot in FS19 and a lot in 22 as well, for doing the silage work. And they also added a log trailer as well. So, not a log trailer, like a log configuration. So I'm very excited for that. And I already know what you're gonna say. It is 80.38 megabytes to download, though.
yeah, that's a lot.
The truck sounds phenomenal, though. Well, I'm gonna say that right now. So The next one I want to go over is Speed of Light by Yos.
Yes.
0.44 megabytes to download to see a change 1.0.1.0. Added faster chainsaws.
So, this one I'm going to comment on because I love this mod. I absolutely love it, and I'm actually going to kick us out of this real quick. So, I actually recently invested in the chainsaw. So, this particular chainsaw looks just like the normal one. So, what I love about this, as opposed to the flashlight, is the flashlight is bright yellow. It stands out, and it lets everybody know, hey, I've got something that's not normal. This, on the other hand, it just looks like a normal chainsaw. But you take off running, whee! You go screaming across the map. I love it. Look at that. That's nuts.
Yeah, so I saw that. I'm like, oh man, I gotta go over this one at least. Let's see here. For the next one, this is gonna be the American Midwest Maintenance Shop. This is by ICUS. The 14.16 megabytes to download. I want to go over this because it's very, very good. It's going to be changed to 1.0.0.1. Added autoload for bales, pallets, and big bags on loft. So that's on the inside, which is fantastic. So like the part you couldn't really get to except for going up the stairs. He changed that now into an autoload.
Nice.
Oh yeah, so it's the fourth picture, and yeah, the one you're on right there. I'm looking at your video. Yeah, that's an autoload now. So, new doors, as you can see, refreshed textures, added new decoration, fixed collisions, which is nice because I had that problem. Fixed snow mask, work table in gray color only, whatever that is. New posters. Choice of flags, non-American or Canadian. Love it. New sounds of opening doors. Now, I did not test that big door in the front, so because I know in 22 it was like that hydraulic sound. So then the last one is new night lighting. So that was a fantastic update. That's why I wanted to go over that.
Oh yeah, I mean just that upper storage by itself is pretty fantastic, but then you throw in all the extra stuff and oh yeah. It's a winner.
Oh, yeah.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Right now, that has a 4.9 by 367. Well worth it. That should be a 5 out of 5. The next one is going to be the multi-grain production by Biggins. This is 17.68 megabytes to download. This is going to be change 1.0.0.3. This is updated mod description. Updated new product palettes for autoload. Made fill planes and selling points permanent for more realism. And removed the grain gate on some sell point. So I thought that was pretty good for that one.
I don't know why, but the username Biggins, I just get a chuckle out of it every time.
It's actually funny because the next one's going to be the multi-dairy production by Biggins, which we're going to talk about this one later. Actually, it's not going to pop up later because it got as an update today. Vision's better. What up? So we'll talk about this one now because I know it's not going to pop up later because they popped up today's update. But so this is the multi-dairy production. This is by Biggins. This is 7.79 megabytes to download. The changelog is 1.0.0.1. Added autoload ability to pallets and adjusted description. I absolutely love this because you can actually make chocolate milk, go like stuff like that. You can go inside. It's just like his other one.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Did you have anything to say about this one? Because this one was a new one that just came out this week.
So I always like that, modders, when they bring out something that's actually very like unique and new to the game itself. You mentioned the chocolate milk and all that stuff, the buffalo milk and so on and so forth. I like it. I think it has a nice looking model, and you can see it does a ton of different stuff in there. So it's not only adding new product, it's actually just a wholly and unique, kind of building. I like it. Definitely download.
Yeah, because you can do butter, cheese, chocolate. So your buffalo milk. There's that's chocolate buffalo milk, chocolate goat milk, chocolate milk. There's even dark chocolate. So a whole bunch of goodies on that one. The next one is going to be American Midwest Cold Storage. This is also by ICAS. It's 11.60 megabytes to download. You have change log 1.0.0.1. New textures, new doors, new sounds, corrected collisions, and added solar panels with income. I absolutely love this building, and it looks fantastic with those solar panels up top.
Yeah, I mean, ICAS has been making some great stuff here lately, and this is no exception.
Oh yeah. Now the last update that came out today I want to talk about is the multi-fruit farm storage by Antics. This is only 2.88 megabytes to download, so super small.
Somehow.
And it's going to be right. It's going to be changelog 1.0.0.2. One of spawn area increased to unload cotton bales, and bigger loading trigger to be able to load all machinery.
I am still blown away in how this isn't a much bigger download size. It's a highly detailed, a large storage area. I mean, just everything about it just screams details. This is a great mod, and it's actually one I literally before we started this stream just installed onto my kind of play around map.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we're moving out of the updates from today. So, I mean, all the rest of them were basically just updating it to the newest patch and just fixing up a couple minor little things on them. So, nothing really major there. But starting for the new mods for today, or as of this week, we're going to start out with 4 Fields by Omatana. This does have a 4.5 star rating by 217 people. It is 235.80 megabytes to download. I personally am not a big fan. That's just me.
So I'm right there with you. If I remember right, I gave it kind of like a middle of the pack, kind of like 3.5 rating, if I remember correctly. The fields are absolutely massive on this map. I mean, it's 4 fields and it's a normal size map. So, y'all do the math. It's going to take up a lot of space. But all that being said and done, it's just one of those where I don't know, it's lacking something. And I think it's the combination of it being so flat and so kind of, I don't want to say lacking in detail, but I mean, it's got as much detail as you can possibly have for the style of which it has. Does that make sense?
See, for me, I don't like how everything is on the border.
Yeah.
So that's just me personally. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I do like the sheep area because you can see like the sheep actually climbing on the rocks, and you see, and there's one area where it goes like cow farm where you can actually like the water buffalo walking through the water. Like, don't get me wrong, it has its good touches, but I personally think if you absolutely love the DLC that just came out, which we will be talking about, this is definitely gonna be for you. But if you want something that's with a little bit more detail, kind of like Alma, Missouri when it comes out or something like that, you're not gonna like this map.
Yeah, and that's it. If you like big, flat, open areas, then this is going to be the map for you. I mean, it's definitely going to have its fans, and I don't blame them whatsoever. I love Omatana and her mods. Her mods are fantastic. This one just kind of misses the mark for me.
I mean, it is doing very good. I mean, it has a 4.5 star rating by 217 people. Maps get I mean, no, not saying it myself for other people, but to me personally, maps seem to get harshed, get rated very harshly, and having a 4.5 is pretty good though.
Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. Like I fully accept that I'm in the minority on this. I have no doubts that I
Oh
am
yeah,
one of the few people, with you that's like, yeah, this one just isn't for me. But it's just one of those where at the end of the day, it's just like I said, not for me.
yeah, 100%. So here, moving on to the next one. Next one is gonna be the Lizard Colossus pack. This is by Chris S and Riley S. This already,
Oh,
yeah, this already has a 4.9 star rating by 336. I don't usually read those off, but that really got me. This is 132.26 megabytes to download. Massive. I mean,
criminal.
you get a bunch of stuff though with this. I mean, me personally, I have it installed on my PC, but not on my Xbox. Um, I'm just not a big fan. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're streaming. They're very very nice, and I absolutely love how they took like the base game sugar beet harvester and made it so you be able to do sugar beet, potatoes, and all the root crops, including like carrots and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is you can also do spinach, peas, and green beans as well. Um, and then with the forage harvester, you can do cotton. So, I mean,
So
it does have its perks.
so this one breaks all my pre-established rules. For those who follow this show and know what I tend to
Uh-huh.
harp on as a console player is the size, the file sizes.
Uh-huh.
I tend to always go on, oh, it's a 132.26 blah 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 blah. No, this one is worth every single byte of space in my opinion. I adore this mod and these models. And here's the reason why. As a content creator, there are times where I have to take liberties as to how to proceed with the Let's Plays. And I want to be able to do certain things, but I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours to do them. So I might take, I don't know, 5-10 minutes and do the thing, but then in the background, set it up to where I can just zip through it, fast forward in time, and not spend my entire day working on one field or my entire day working on one specific task. I'm able to do it and move on. And these are absolutely fantastic. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this and go back to here, and I'm going to show off all the different stuff. So I know I always harp on, oh, well, it's so huge, it's 132 meg. It comes with so much, though. This
Uh-huh.
one is just night and day, blows out everything else out of the water. Let's see, where is the Lizard Colossus? Why am I not? There it is. All right, so first off, it comes with the root harvester. So that right there, $353,000 for the root harvester. You can customize it, do all that kind of stuff. Fantastic. You can have a normal header for it, and that's it. It's just a header for your sugar beets. You can have a unrealistic header. Now, what's awesome about this is you can do your standard working width, or you can do 10 meters unrealistic, 20 meters unrealistic, 50 meters unrealistic. And it puts up these little guide bars to tell you how far out that header is expected to harvest. One thing too is the harvester here has a standard capacity, a 250,000 liter capacity, 500,000, 1 million, 2.5 million. And I mean, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. So if you're going at 50 meters and 5 million liter capacity, oh, it's worth it all night and day. But then you also get potatoes, real and unrealistic. You get all the other crops, the carrots, parsnips, red beets. You've got the peas, spinach, and green beans, real and unrealistic, the header trailer, and then you get the actual regular grain harvester here as well. And again, you get the the standard, the 2x, the 250,000, the 500,000, 1 mil, 2.5, and then back again. I mean, it's one of those you can really rip through a bunch of stuff here. And then you get the normal header, you get a unrealistic header, which again will change your working width to 25 to 50 meters, and then you get a even more unrealistic one where it's a rice header. It's the rice header, and then you get the corn and sunflower headers. You get the forage harvesters, which again, like Will was saying earlier, you can put cotton through this. I mean, that's incredible. That's absolutely insane to me, being able to run cotton through this. So you don't have to make bales. You can do it all loose, and you throw it into a trailer, and you're good to go. And then you get poplar headers. You get you get sugarcane headers. You get mowers. You can have a mower, a realistic one and a unrealistic one, for up to, again, 50 meters wide. So you can make one pass and get 50 meters. You get a baler, you get a baler wrapper, and this thing wraps like nobody's business. I actually tested this out just to kind of play around with it to see, and just, and then it's done. It just slams it down on the ground, you're good to go. And you got to be careful with it, because I accidentally bumped into one, and for those, again, who follow the channel knows that if you bump into the next bale as you're wrapping the previous bale, it kind of sends it, flying across the map. Well, imagine this thing going at Mach 1000, and then all of a sudden it sits there and hits another bale. Yeah, needless to say, I couldn't find where the bale went, nor could I find where my tractor went. I had to restart the game.
It's in
But
Mars.
it's got, I'm pretty sure it's either on Mars, Venus. I mean, it might even be on Pluto by now. Who knows?
Saturn.
I mean, who knows? It's the first harvester, or it's the first bale wrapper in space. It's just just off there, and it's zooming past the International Space Station, the whole 9 yards. We got a trailer here, just a normal trailer. We got kind of the root cart trailer, but it takes all the various stuff that you can input and output. And then you've got the forage harvesters, which again, you can have the realistic capacity or the unrealistic capacities, unrealistic pickup widths. I mean, the whole 9 yards. This is an amazing pack. It comes with tons of stuff, and it is worth every single bite of space, in my opinion. So absolutely, all day, all night, download this one. It's worth it for me.
Now, I do want to touch base a couple of things. So the rice header is for your normal rice, not your long grain rice. So it's like your patty rice. Also, the one thing I didn't check though is now for that for the Amedity auger trailer that came with it, that space game, the one I really like a lot. I know the base game doesn't do it, but I didn't check for this one to see if that flap in the front folds down or folds inwards.
Which trailer was it?
So if you go back in there and then you go all the way down the bottom, it's going to be the second one over.
Oh, the root cart?
Yeah, so if you click on that though and it loads in, it's going to be like the little flap in the front.
Okay.
I just because I know the base game it doesn't do anything, but I wasn't sure because there's hydraulics on it. Because in real life you can lower that flap so a forage harvester can shoot chaff into there. So I'm watching your stream. It's on mute right now, but I have it in the background. So yeah, I just don't know if they did anything with that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks like it'll take all the various products. So yeah, it looks like chaff's in there, so you should be able to shoot right into it, kind of thing. So
yeah, but it's the flap in the front, so I don't know because you know how like some trailers
I see what you're saying. This little I see the hydraulic rams right there. Let me change the color so it's a little easier to see. Yeah, so you can kind of see there's those little hydraulic rams. Yeah, looks like you might be able to lower them. I don't know if it does that or if it's just based on the base game model and they didn't change it.
I don't know. Yeah, that's one thing I got to look into is that. So yeah, so I mean, overall, I mean, if you really like that mod pack, go for it. It is here. It is out now. I know DJ was losing his mind, and so was Mr. CP. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, it's one of those where if you're just wanting to get the job done real quick, you're not that concerned about realism or anything like that, then it's a great model. It's a great mod because it's going to get the job done. It's going to get it done quick. Especially if you're somebody who's not a huge fan of root crop harvesting like myself. It goes so slow that I almost never do it because of how long it takes, especially the new root crops like the carrots, parsnips, and red beets. Like, using the base game equipment is... I'm pretty sure I'd rather be dragged through a field of cactus than to have to deal with those. Like, it's that rough sometimes. You're sitting there, and even with the big, harvester, like the four billet harvester, I mean, even that is a nightmare because you got to run right alongside of it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those that maybe one of these days when we get some different mods, more realistic mods that will harvest a larger billet and have a storage capacity, then sure, I'd be okay with that. But until that day, it's going to be one of those, I'll use that mod all day, all night when it comes to root crops.
I gotcha, I hear you.
Especially if you're on like a map like me with Calmsden. Calmsden is a perfect example because you got some really massive fields, and if you got a massive field coupled with the root crops, oh my goodness, like, just put me out to pasture.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Drive Laner. This is by ITS. This is 243.32 megabytes to download. Now, for this, it basically takes all the base game seeders and planters, and basically you're able to attach this certain little rivet in the back that makes what's that word I'm thinking of?
Drive lanes.
Yeah, drive lanes. So, I mean, to me, it's not worth it. But
so this one, I'm kind of a mixed bag on. I like it for the realism because, if you're one of those kind of players who really likes to play with realism in mind, then this is a mod for you. The reason being is what this is doing is making the lanes available for like sprayers and stuff like that. You're supposed to be able to create these roads when the field is too large, and you're supposed to be able to then take it and make paths for your vehicles to be able to come by and be able to do stuff, like I said, like a sprayer, like a
weeder,
like a weeder or something like that. So you're not crushing the crops underneath, kind of thing. You're not wasting seeds to put them down on the place where you're just going to go ahead and drive anyways. So for a realistic standpoint, it's really nice. I like that. But for 243 megabytes to install, absolutely not. I would never in a million years want to install this for that size. Especially because this is all the base game models and stuff. So I don't know what is taking up that file size.
I don't know either, man. I don't know, man. I personally avoided that like white on rice. Real quick, Joe, what's going on, man? Says, hey, yo, Benji. Where was? Oh, it disappeared. I think it was Ken who said it. If you want to catch up with your chat, he said something pretty funny.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got Benji. How's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Benji. Ken says, Benji. Also says, at least it's not 1.3. LOL. No, that one right there, that cedar, or that whole drive lane thing, I will say that's 1.3. I will absolutely say I understand what they're going for with it, with the realism, but that's just ridiculous to me. I cannot fathom where the file size is coming from. Now look, here's the thing: is I'm wholly ignorant when it comes to the mods and stuff like that. So I'm not sitting here trying to throw shade whatsoever. But what was it again? It was 100 and some odd megabytes.
It was 243
200.
points.
Okay, hold on. Okay, this is a perfect example. The Lizard Colossus 132, and look what it does. I'm sorry, there's no justifying for me with the size of this file at all. I understand where it's coming from, and I'm just kind of ranting at this point. 1.3. 1.3.
BDD.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure that 1.3 was going for the Colossus Harvester's Bag.
No. no. I understand that's what he was getting at, but no. I would. Here's the thing, Ken. I would, if it was 1.3, I would still install it. I would still install it. I'm that serious. I'm 100% for real on that one. That's how much I like that. Now, that's with a caveat though. If we get that one mod, the blue harvester that kind of did the same thing as the Colossus, where you got the pretty much the same features, just cheaper and like cheaper to buy, cheaper to have on your maps and all that stuff. If that comes out and is half as good as it was previously, then I might be singing a different tune. I might be like, okay, 132 megabytes to install might be a little bit too rich for my blood, and I'll just stick with the other one that's smaller size and cheaper to buy in game. But for right now, because it's the only thing we have that does this, not 1.3. Not 1.3. Drive laner 1.3.
Yeah.
All right, now going back to the chat there, we got let's see. Benji says, hey, Ken. Benji also says, I gave a 5-star for 4 fields. That's my opinion. Hey, and like I said, I am more than happy to be in the minority on this one. It's just not one that speaks to me. But if it speaks to you, hey, I'm happy for you. I'm genuinely happy for you, because it's just one of those where, it might not speak to me, but it's going to speak to many others, as you have proven. So, yeah, 100%. Cole Farms, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hello. Benji says hello, Cole. Cole says hello. Chris S, how's it going, Chris? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says good evening. Glad to see we're enjoying the pack. Oh, more than enjoying the pack, Chris. Thank you for stopping by here tonight. Yeah, absolutely love it. The reaction to the rappers have been the best. Oh my goodness, those rappers are insane, Chris. Insane. Like, I don't know if you were here when I was telling the story. I was just testing it here on Zelonka, and I was wrapping a couple of bales, and I got hung up, as I tend to do, on the bales because I just go to them too quickly, and all of a sudden I just rocketed myself into orbit, is essentially what happened. Jonah with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Jonah. I greatly appreciate it. Says, so that's why the tractors are in my front yard. No, Jonah, I already explained this. The tractor's in orbit. It's not in your front yard. It's in Pluto's orbit by now.
Yeah.
Benji says, hey, Jonah. Benji also says, I cannot imagine being dragged across a field of cactuses. No, it would be certainly painful and not something I would want to have happen, but I think it is a better alternative than what I was talking about earlier.
Right.
And that's it. I'm all caught up. Oh, Will, you still there?
Yeah, I thought I had to sneeze there for a second.
I gotcha. Being kind to the group here. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I sneezed so loud like earlier that Bree Lily was walking from outside inside, and she ran inside. She goes, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I just sneezed." She goes, "I heard that." So yeah, the next one's gonna be Animal Transports. This is by Lamy. This is 10.40 megabytes to download. I mean, I do like this because it has a built-in, because they took the base game International and made it as basically a self carrier for animals, but they also took the base game horse trailer, and you could put animals in there, like you put cows, stuff like that. But the best part is you can put 20 chickens in there.
Yeah, so I'm right there with you. I absolutely love this. It's not a big file size. 10.4 megabytes is not bad at all, but it's the first thing we have that will actually accept chickens as a transport, which is awesome.
Yep.
I love that. So yeah, all in all, this is a great mod. It took a good base. It's not too heavy on the file size. So yeah, the perfect mod all the way around. It's a nice idea to include that transport of chickens, because that's something that to this day still shocks me that Giants hasn't undertaken, is allowed for chickens to be a part of the transportable animals that you
Right.
have to, in base game, go around and throw them in, via the pen dialogue box. So I don't know why that's still a thing, but it is. So I'm just glad to have a mod now that allows you to do all the animals.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I like this next one. So the next one's gonna be the Landau 7431 VT 33 foot by BC Bueller. This is 13.98 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $80,000, working with of 10.1 meters. Now this is nice because you can configure it to either be a disc harrow, a full-on mulcher, or both.
Yeah, so having that as the kind of trump card for less than 14 megabytes to install, having a 10.1 working with, and $80,000 to kind of give us our kind of overalls. Let's see, the fact that it does either disc harrowing or mulching or both, that already has a trump card. It makes it already by itself I would install this. Now, kind of taking a look at the kind of closest comparables, as I tend to do here. Disc harrows. Where are the disc harrows? There they are. That's a power harrow. Let's see, 10 meters. All right. Closest one we have is the Farmet Softer 11 PS, $95,000 to purchase. So this one is already cheaper by 15 grand. This is 10.5 meters. The one by BC Bueller is 10.1, so it's a little bit smaller, 0.4 meters, but not enough to be like, oh my goodness, not even consider.
Right.
And horsepower requirements doesn't say on.
It's 300.
300. All right. Well, the one base game is 330. So for 15 grand cheaper, and it has the trump card of being able to be a mulcher as well. Yeah, all day, all night install.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I installed that like right away once I saw it. Let's see. The next one's gonna be the Joss King Cargo. This is by Dyson's Agri. This is gonna be 54.06 megabytes to download. So basically, you just have a slurry hauler and a trailer with the bed part to it.
So with this one here, I'm not terribly impressed. I mean, the file size to install is 54 megabytes to install. So that's quite a big commitment for what essentially adds up to a Joskin's, slurry tanker and, trailer. That's basically all it is at the end of the day. And you can have it kind of a modular setup. I like it in principle. In the fact that you can have the kind of modularity. You can use one kind of base and have multiple connections to it. If it was more than just these two, then I'd be more on board with it, especially for that file size. But the fact that it's only the two, and I have no idea whether or not there's going to be more coming, kind of thing, would be a pass for me, unfortunately.
I agree, 100%. Let's see here. Next one's gonna be the SIP favorite 254. This is by private Olden Farm SLM TWD Maurice, the 3001. This is going to be 4.09 megabytes to download. So basically, what this is if you don't have the little side curtains, which you have to purchase separately, and you just have this, if I forget what button it is, but you activate a certain lever which pops up in the front. It's like right in the front. It pops upwards. It turns into a tether. Now you deactivate that, and then you attach like when this side shoots to it, it turns into a windrower. The nice thing though is that the side curtains are actually liftable, so you can move them by hand.
Mm-hmm. So I actually really like this. I really, really like this. It's really small. It's really cheap, and it's not that big to install. So all those things, I mean, at the end of the day, are very, very nice. The fact that it's got the trump card of being a tether as well as being a windrower, doing all that stuff, does multiple, multiple jobs in one tool. Definitely like that. And I don't know if we're going to have anything that's going to be a real good comparable to it, because it's a windrower and tether all in one kind of thing. But I mean, closest thing that we have, base game, this is 2.5 meter working width for $5,000. Well, the kind of closest thing we got is the Pottinger Alpen Hit 4.4H for $6,000 and 4.4 meter for a tether. So you're already having to buy the tether, the cheapest one in game. You're spending $6,000 for that, and then getting the base game SIP windrower. You're spending $5,000 for that. Plus I mean, you're already having to invest, in two separate equipment for one price. This gives you the option to just invest in the one. So, all in all, I think that it's worth it, and I think it's worth an install.
I mean, if you're definitely doing like a small map, 100%. This would have been perfect on Allegrand. Now this next one I liked a lot. The next one is going to be the K700 Sliding Shield Own Construction. This is by Durabi66 and WillTGaming Gaming. It is 8.70 megabytes to download. It's $3,450. Now it does have a capacity on it, even though it doesn't really matter. Working with is 4.2 meters. It's a leveler, but I've already used this thing. It's super nice. It moves a whole lot. Plus, it's got lights in the front. So if you're going at nighttime, it actually has lights built in to the leveler itself.
So as I mentioned before, I'm not huge on silage work and stuff. So these kind of mods really kind of shoot the moon for me. Not really one that I get all that hung up on. So I'm gonna say that this one for me personally is a push, but it's 8.7 megabytes to install, and it's got the 12,000 liter capacity and all that. I mean, it seems nice. It seems like a good model, good mod, but just not one that I'm gonna be like really hard in any direction.
Let's try to move my chair. I almost fell over. Let's see. The next one is going to be the Small Tools Package. This is by Dogface. Love the name. I'm always going to say that. It is 8.50 megabytes to download. So it comes with a plow, which is 0.5 meters. It comes with a cultivator, 2.5 meters. It comes with a weeder, 3 meters. And it comes with another weeder that's 2 meters. So I mean, and I'm not stealing this phrase, and that's why I'm really going to say that this phrase comes from Andy Farms. Well, if you like your small farm shenanigans, here you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I mean, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 bits of equipment for 8.5 megs. That's not bad. If you're wanting, to do small farms and stuff, this is going to be a good option for you. I could see the value in this for that size. So yeah, I would install this if you're looking for small equipment, small farm work.
Oh, really, man? So, so I got Chris S in here right now, which hit the subscribe button. He said, I know you already talked about it. I wanted to mention I wanted the Colossus pack as individual mods, but Giants said it had to all be in the pack. I've noticed that from Giants. I mean, a lot of modders have actually came out and stated like my biggest worry is custom modding because they're big Slurryville metal pack. Because I mean, they're coming as 4 separate mods, but I feel like Giants are going to make them put it all in one.
Yeah, which, as I've mentioned before, it's really disheartening that Giants is wanting a lot of these things in packs. As a console player, people know exactly where I stand on this. It's really really rough to be able to have these massive file sizes for mods. Now, don't get me wrong. The file size for the Colossus pack, I'd install that, as I mentioned before, all day, all night. That doesn't bother me because of how much it does. But it would be nice if we were able to kind of choose an a la carte kind of thing. I understand where Giants is coming from. I genuinely do. But as a console player, it's one of those where it gets very disheartening to know that they're wanting to save on the work at the cost of their players and their space, which is already extremely limited, even more limited than we had in 22.
Right. I mean, I get you, and I agree. I mean, I also see Giants' point of view too, because it's easier for them to test, which I get. There's one thing. Let's see here. Chris just said, started on PS4. File size is always number one thought. Yeah. Quick question while you're in here, there, Chris. Are you still bringing your two planners back? Like the ones that were from FS22?
That'd be nice.
So,
well, and here's the thing is, to Chris's point, that's fantastic that there's modders like yourself who are thinking of the console players, like, hey, I started on console, therefore I'm going to kind of take note of that and try whatever tricks and tips you have to be able to accommodate. That's fantastic. And like I said, I mean, it's one of those where you can see that kind of mentality being played out in the Colossus pack. It only being 100 some megabytes to install. I mean, if I'm sure if you were less careful, you could have been 2, 3, 4 times that size, kind of thing. Is my guess. So trust me, people like myself, we greatly appreciate it when that kind of attention is paid.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Fearsome Rhino 2. Thank you so much for subscribing, man. Highly appreciate it. Chris says planters are pending testing. Huge smiley face. Subscribe button. I'm just kidding. You don't have to if you don't want to.
So we got Locke's Garage. How's it going, Locks? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hi. Benji says, are you sure? I mean, it's quite positive. Definitely not looking forward to being dragged through the cactuses, but I think that that would be better than the alternative. We've got Jonah with the 1, 2, 3, and Benji egging him on with the 4, 5, 6. Locke saying it's a good mod. Also says I use it all the time. Yeah, and like I said, as a content creator, I do too. These styles of mods work perfectly for a content creator because you're able to get so much stuff done in the background without having to drag on. And it opens the doors, like I was mentioning earlier, to doing root crops and stuff like that. So, big shout out to Chris and Riley S. Thank you both so very much for pushing this out, getting it out to us all. It's fantastic, and we greatly appreciate it. Ken says, I definitely won't install that tedder. Nah, you know, I can understand that. And
Right.
Fearsome Rhino says, I don't know why, but okay.
Okay. Chris said easily 200 megabytes. LOL.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I have no doubts about it. No doubt whatsoever. It could be 200 megabytes. You know, like I said, players like myself and many others, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we all want to say thank you, Chris. Let's see here. The next one is going to be the Quickie Bale Tools. This is by
What'd you call me?
Ian Design. I didn't say anything. It's going to be 21.55 megabytes to download. It comes with a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I love this pack. Now, because so it says third screenshot in, but the bale fork, with like the 2 spikes up top, you can actually take those away and put like a big bag handler on there as well. And then when you go to fold, the spike, the tool, the spikes will fold upwards, so you can actually use it. But this thing has a massive advantage on it, and that is because you can configure it to be a front loader, telehandler, skid steer, and wheel loader.
So, with it being 21 megabytes to install, it's a bit high for the install, but you're getting a lot of different equipment, which is nice, and it's workable for all the different types of equipment that's available for the game. So, that being said, it's not that big considering when all things are said and done. All the various tools that you get for this, I mean, you can see here on the screen. I mean, you're getting the bale grabs, you're getting the the spikes, the bag lifters, the round balers. I mean, all this stuff. You're getting so much stuff with this pack. All said and done, yeah, I think this is a good one and definitely one that I would install.
Oh yeah, I definitely have it installed on both my Xbox and my PC. Let's see here. The next one is going to be the Lizard M20D. This is by NicoDo55. This is 1.30 megabytes to download. It is a bale spike, but so you can either use it as a bale spike, or you can select it to have tension belts. So then what happens is that the spikes have no collisions on them, and you just pull right up, and then you just it theoretically puts a tension belt around whatever you're picking up, and you just carry it.
So I absolutely love this mod. The fact that it kind of has that workaround with the tension straps, that's fantastic. Again, it's just one of those where if you can kind of simplify things without it making it look ridiculous or acting in a way that's unrealistic and stuff, I think that this is kind of the best of all worlds. It's set up to run on a 3-point link, it's set up to run on the front loaders, and so on and so forth. So when everything's said and done, I think this is one of those mods that the modder kind of thought outside the box, and it's like, okay, what can I do that's going to make this thing look and function the way that it's intended to, and be able to be a little bit easier for those people who don't necessarily want to be realistic, but it look realistic. And I think this is a good compromise. And it being 1.3 megabytes to install, yeah, I would install this, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Benji, what's going on? It says, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good sir. So the next one's going to be Silo Deep Ranch. This is by Name Mog Mod. Try to say that 5 times fast.
Nope.
It is 20.42 megabytes to download. So it comes with 2 silos. So you have the small silo with capacity of 1 million liters. Price tag is $95,000. And then you have a large silo with 6 million liters. Price tag of $175,000. I personally would pass on these.
So it's almost 21 megabytes to install. So that right there puts it very, very high up there for just a silo. but I absolutely love the way that this looks. I think it looks fantastic. I love it even more that the small, quote unquote, small is 1 million liters. That I think is by far the most ridiculous thing that I've ever had come out of my mouth. The small is 1 million liters. Wow. Just wow. But no, and then the large one is 6 million liters. That's just crazy. But no, I think this is a brilliant looking model. I think it looks amazing. It's got all the kind of rust and weathering on the roofs and the ceilings there. It's got just the kind of overall kind of patina all along the model itself. It looks fantastic. So you can see where that 21 megabytes is coming from. You know, not only from the various kind of, you know, designs that are in here, because the small and large, but you also get that very nice looking model itself. So I think it looks good. Would I necessarily install it? 21 megabytes for a silo? Probably not. I'm probably going to stick with, you know, some other kind of model that might be a little bit smaller in file size as well. What was that?
Well, the first one we talked about. That's the one you're using on your
yes,
on your game player now.
Yep. No, and that's it. Is, you know, it's significantly smaller than the one I'm using that had the update from earlier. It stores not only your loose grains, it also stores your palleted goods and bales. I mean, it's a win-win-win, and it's only like 4 megabytes to install as opposed to 21. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think these look significantly better. I think the look on these are 100 times better, but sometimes function over form.
Yep. That's 2.88, just let you know. Let's see here. The next one's going to be the multifunctional sheds. This is by MA7 Studio. This is 78.60 megabytes to download. So basically, you get a hangar, which is $64,000. You have a cow barn version, which is $84,000, and you can expand the pasture out. And then you do have a sheep one, which is $48,000. And they have a silo, which is $64,000, which will hold bales and pallets. I forgot how many pallets it holds, but for the cows, no milk production, and you can't even get slurry or manure out of it. So it's literally just like raising calves, basically. I mean, to me, it's not worth it, but
so MA7 Studios did a fantastic job on this. It looks brilliant, as pretty much anything that MA7 Studios touches, it looks amazing. 79 megabytes to install for, you know, a hangar, a cow barn, a sheep barn, and, you know, a kind of storage silo. All that, I don't know if that's worth it for me. I would not install this unless I was doing some kind of large series on something like Pelinier, where this would very much fit in, but it's just one of those where it would be a very specific use case. But overall, I'd probably breeze past this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I installed it at first, take a look, and after I found out that you couldn't get slurry or manure out of it, I'm like, nope, pass. Next one's going to be Attic. This is also by MA7 Studios. This is 15.89 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $22,000. This is a shed. It's mainly meant for like your small farm shenanigans, basically, because it's how the doors are. I mean, it's very well detailed. But
yeah, so copy and paste everything I said about the looks of the building to this in the previous one. This one looks amazing. It looks spectacular. 16 megabytes to install, 22,000 to buy. It's not expensive. It's not that much, all things considered, for file size. But it's, again, got a very specific use case for it. And for me, it's not going to find its way onto my files, unfortunately. Again, I say unfortunately because it looks brilliant. It looks amazing. And it's something I would love to have on my farm. But because of how hyper-specific it is, I just can't.
Right. So your next one's going to be Hull 45 by 20M. This is by Nalu. This is going to be
You gotta stop
7.39.
calling me names.
I'm not calling you anything, man. Ow, my knee.
Don't do that.
So this is going to be 7.39 megabytes to download, and you have a price tag of $85,000.
So for less than 8 megabytes to install, you have a hull that you can customize to multiple different colors. I mean, it looks like a basic shed. All things considered, looks all right. Can fit in just about any farm that's out there. So this one I'd be comfortable with installing. It's nice, cavernous inside. Looks like you can store a bunch of stuff. It's got some loose grain there in the screenshot we just passed through. So yeah, all in all, I think this is a nice little model, and yeah, I think I would install this one. Absolutely.
I passed on it. So your next one is going to be a small garage with a workshop. This is by, was that Canary 317? I think it's supposed to be. It's 4.19 megabytes to download. It costs $10,000. Now, this thing looks absolutely phenomenal, right? It's very, very highly detailed. There is one big problem with this.
Uh-oh.
It's 53 slots.
Wow.
Yeah. So
we know where all that detail went.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's one of those where less than 5 megabytes to install, 10,000 to buy. It's cheap. It's not that big on the file size, but that much in the slot count. Holy smokes. I mean, I'm less concerned about slot counts. I'll be honest with you. I'm not as concerned about that one, especially because you can see where those slots are coming from. This model looks fantastic, and I love that they use the old New Holland as a kind of representation of the image here. I don't know. I love the hanging tire. I love the ladder. The kind of ivy that's kind of draped down the side of the building there. This is wonderful. This is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, honestly, I'm not that concerned about the slot counts because it's not something that's going to be, ultra prohibitive on the hard drive itself. It's going to be prohibitive on the game size itself, but there's ways around that.
I mean, it does look absolutely phenomenal, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't foresee use of this on my farm, but I mean, it's got 5 stars by 22 people. I mean, it's well deserving of 5 stars.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So your next one's gonna be Pack of Tin Car Garages. This is by Kutskin. I don't even know. I don't know how to pronounce that. $500 for it, and you basically need to store a car in.
Made the bank go burr. I mean, look, if you're looking for a small little shed to throw your stuff into, I mean, this is it. Unfortunately, not for me. This is one that I would be a hard pass on. The file size is not bad. The price is not bad. It's just, I could not imagine a scenario where I would think that, yeah, I would want to have this on my farm.
Agreed. Agreed. 100%, man. Do you want to check? Do you want to catch up with your chat real quick?
I do. You know me too well. Let's see. We got. There we go. We got Benji saying hello to Rhino. Rhino saying hi, bud. Ken saying also works on round bales with the anti-bale flip. Ooh, very nice. Ken also says that small garage I could see on Pelinier. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I could see that on Pelinier. And all that stuff I can see on Pelinier. Pelinier would be a perfect example for all those MA7 Studio mods, without a shadow of a doubt. but it's one of those that currently I'm not playing on Peligny.
Yeah.
So it's not one that I would actually install simply because of that. He also says, or some other European map. Yeah, again, 100% agree with you. 100%. I think they're brilliant mods, brilliant models. Like I said before, MA7 Studios makes amazing stuff. I can't justify it right now, but I could under the right scenarios.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I believe I am all caught up.
All right, perfect. I like this next one. So this is going to be the grass fermentation silage silo. This is by 2-Bit Modding. It's 19.12 megabytes to download. Costs $65,000. Capacity 500,000 liters. This thing is not bad. I mean, I haven't installed it. I personally like it.
So for less than 20 megabytes to install, you spend less than 70,000 to buy. You get a fairly decent capacity, 500,000 liters. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to make some silage, then this is going to be something for you. Depending on the kind of recipes and stuff, the cycles per month and all that stuff. Yeah, I could see this being a good model and I should say a good mod. It's got a good looking model for it. I mean, it's got that kind of what appears to be maybe a kind of European look to it, as best as I can tell. But no, all in all, it looks good. I would install it.
Yeah, I love the brick design.
Yep.
Let's see. Moving on. Now, next one. Oh, here we go. This is going to be the production points pack. This is by Puma 145. This will be 109.82 megabytes to download. Now, basically what this is he took all the production points base game from FS22 and brought them over.
So I could see the value in this. Personally, there's several models from last iteration's game that I think were better looking than some of the current models. But for 110 megabytes to install and just the excess that would be a part of it, for me personally, I would install it. That's a lot of commitment right there. I would certainly jump all over the Colossus long before this for the same megabyte size. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's certain models and stuff that I liked. They looked, I think, better, but I'd be basically installing it for maybe 1 or 2 models, and that's it.
I mean, I don't have this on my Xbox. I have it on my PC, but I don't have it on my Xbox.
Yeah.
So your next one is going to be Productions Pack. This is by The Lort. This is going to be 2.36 megabytes to download. So you have a pig feed production, a total mixed ration production, and a silage production. I'm going to tell you right now, the pig production is pretty good, actually. Perfect. Time right here. Let's see here. Yeah, so the pig one, so you get, so it holds 1 million liters for the pig, which is fantastic total. So you got 250 wheat, you have 500 potatoes, 250 share beets equals 1,000 pig feed. For your silage, the total capacity for a holding is 400,000 liters, and you get 1-to-1, so 1,000 to 1,000.
But that one only does chaff, though. That's the only issue I have with it.
The TMR is criminal because so you have you have a total capacity of 400,000 liters for each. It's 48 cycles a month, but you have 1,000 silage, you have 500 hay, 100 mineral feed, 400 straw equals 1,000 total mixed ration.
Yeah, so either that recipe is portioned incorrectly, or it needs an update, or you're losing out on a bunch of material by using it. I like this pack in theory, but that TMR ration, the recipe, that needs to be addressed, in my opinion. If it gets adjusted, then it'll be fine. I do have this installed personally. I do like it. It's a nice model, as well as only being less than 3 megabytes to install. The pig feed is really good. I do like that one as a recipe. Wheat, potatoes, and sugar beets, and you're done. All those are relatively easy to come by, especially now that we got the Colossus pack. And it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Very, very straightforward to come with. And most starting farms and stuff will give you a wheat field to start. So wheat's going to be very easy to come by. It's the potatoes and sugar beets. And potatoes and sugar beets, do a couple contracts and you're going to get quite a bit left over from those contracts. You do 2 contracts, one for potatoes and one for sugar beets, and you're going to have pig feed for days.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I passed on that, to be completely honest, but I mean, somebody out there is going to like it. Next one's going to be diesel production. This is by Ellis Factory Mods. This is going to be 12.11 megabytes to download. I mean, it costs $102,000. Your capacity for input is 100,000. Your diesel capacity is 300,000. Your cycles per month is 48. The recipe is 100 liters of water to 100 liters of canola, sunflowers, soybeans. Equals 750 liters of diesel.
So this mod, I love it. I absolutely love it. For less than 13 megabytes to install, you require, various different stuff to get your diesel, but it's really not that bad. It's really, really not. I mean, you're missing out on the recipe, 1,000 liters of water plus 1,000 liters of, canola, sunflowers, or soybeans to get the diesel. You're taking a reduction by quite a bit. But I mean, really, water you can get from free from, most maps will give you a water source kind of thing. So I really kind of ignore that personally. And there's even now productions where you can just have it generate the water for you and then it'll deliver it for you. So again, water, not that concerned about. So really you're taking a 1 to 3/4 reduction in your products, but you're making diesel. And if you've got a sell point for diesel, you can make a killing off of it. Or you can have a ton of it left over for for your equipment and stuff kind of thing. So it's one of those that I think that it's a brilliant mod. For 13 megabytes to install. I installed this one. Absolutely.
Now, the previous one, the production pack we were just talking about, the one good thing about that is that you can take your stuff back out.
Yep.
If you put too much in. So, let's see here. Next one is going to be the Art Master 2K25 pack. This is by Vanquish 081. This is going to be 18.18 megabytes to download. I mean, so you got your Seedmaster V2. Let's see here. Then you got your Roko Master V2. You got your Freddy Master V2, and then you got your Pig Master, Zexam, and then your Mix Master. I'm trying to figure out.
So this one I love. I absolutely love this. I loved this in 22. I love it again here in 25, and here's why. Less than 19 megabytes to install. Not that bad on the file size. Really not. And when you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate production points, you get the seed, the lime, the fertilizer, the pig food, and the TMR mixers. I believe the difference between the originals and V2s are the production cycles per month, I think, because it's all the same recipes. No?
So the difference is that, the originals, like the Seedmaster, for example, so just the Seedmaster, you have to like take a front bucket or a conveyor belt and load it in from the top. The V2 has a grate on the bottom you can just dump it right into.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, well that's cool too. I like that. Gives you some options if you don't want to dump with a bucket. But I mean, personally, it's wasn't that big of a deal. I actually used a couple of these on my Pelinier series for FS22. I used the Roku Master as well as the Ferdy Master. Now, there's small capacities. I think it's like 20,000 liters is the final capacity output kind of thing. But
Oh,
for a small farm, I mean, even to a medium-sized farm, I mean, it produces it pretty quickly. I mean, when everything's all said and done. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think this is a brilliant mod. I loved these, and I continue to love them.
oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. It's like the one thing I actually like from them. um, so your next one is going to be the Calf Igloo, or the way DJ Gohan likes to say it, Calf. That's the way he puts it. This is by Maxter. This is 2.43 megabytes to download. It only holds one calf. It's $500 basically. $499. Just make it 500. Yeah. But I have one problem with this mod. I absolutely love it and I have it and I use it, but I have one problem. The animal doesn't appear on the inside. When you buy the animal or put the animal in there, it appears on the outside.
Yep.
So
It's gonna need an update. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I love this mod. Less than 3 megabytes to install. $500 is dirt cheap to have a kind of place to raise your calf. That's fantastic. And it's a live calf. Like it moves around and does its thing. It'll lay down and the whole 9 yards. That's fantastic. Love that.
because we have them now.
What's that?
Because we actually have calves now.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense to have these things. You know, before when we had these, when we didn't have the baby animals, you had like the still image of them kind of thing. So it was like their workaround to be able to have quote unquote calves in game, or it was just decoration kind of thing.
Right.
But I think this is brilliant, and I think they're going in the right direction. Once this gets updated and gets fixed, then this is something I will reinstall. I had it on my console. I even installed it on one of my maps I was working on, and then realized, oh no, the animal's on the outside of the fence, so I uninstalled it.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Hector already uploaded his to ModHub, so now it's just waiting to be tested. Because his came with the single or the one that holds 5.
Oh, nice.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be Beehives. This is by Missy B. Love this mod. 6.85 megabytes to download. See, I think it's awesome because you can either get it in like a couple different like beehives, and then my personal favorite, get the old car where they just come out of the bonnet, like the hood, and then you get it, and then it comes with a placeable area, but you can use any area, like any mod that spawns honey. So
yeah, this one's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You know, less than 7 megabytes to install, and you get all the different varieties of bees. You know, and I'm sorry, but that car is hilarious. It's just absolutely hilarious because, I mean, for any of us who's grown up out in the country and whatnot and had junkers on their properties, knows exactly what this is. They know exactly, and I mean, me personally, I've grown up out in the country. I've had vehicles that I intended to repair but never did, and needless to say, this same exact scenario happened, and trying to deal with it was a nightmare. But that's a separate story. And yeah, just absolutely think it's a brilliant idea, brilliant models. Yeah, and yeah, I love it, absolutely love it. Worth it, and would install absolutely.
I actually have it installed, and I actually have the car put down on my Frankenmuth map. I have it kind of buried in some bushes in the woods. So the next one is, for some odd reason, it's in one word, but washing area. This is by Holden HP Modding. It's 6.79 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $2,500. So this does not come with a washer. You have to place your own down.
So I understand where they're coming from on this one. Me personally, though, wouldn't install it. 7 megabytes, not a big deal. $2,500, again, not a big deal. It's just decoration is all it is at the end of the day. So for me personally, I don't see myself. Yeah, I don't see myself wanting to put it down. So yeah, I would pass on it.
Next one's going to be Country Flags for Wall. This is by JMZ. This is 0.66 megabytes to download. For each flag, it's $50, which isn't bad. I have one problem with this. This mod.
Let's hear it.
So if you look at the very first screenshot, you see the American flag on the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, looks beautiful. You go over to the last screenshot, you probably could tell me right off the bat what my problem is.
Yeah, something doesn't look right there.
So it's like it's not mirrored correctly. So
yeah, that's definitely got some updates. Now here's the thing, though. This isn't a thing for like flags as they're supposed to be, but if you look at like military garb and stuff like that, the military attire, you will notice this kind of thing to where the flags are backwards on the shoulders of military members, and there's a reason for that. The reason being is it's supposed to look like the flag is blowing in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those, like, although it's not applicable here, there are scenarios where it would be backwards, but that's not what this is.
Right. Now, I mean, which I kind of figured that an update is probably going to come out for, and it'd be fantastic at that point, but just doesn't look right.
Yeah, and you can also notice it there on the Brazilian flag too. If you're familiar with the Brazilian flag, it's definitely mirrored on there, so it's just a flip image of it. So I could see that being rather annoying. Walking from one direction it looks fine, walking from the other direction it's like, wait a minute,
right? Something doesn't
look right.
Here. Yo,
is that whiskey I hear?
How's it going?
That is
whiskey.
Whiskey, how's it going?
How's it going?
What up?
Doing good. Just got done streaming a few minutes ago, so yeah.
Nice.
Beauty.
Yeah.
As the first single player stream I've done too, so.
Nice.
Yeah. All the other ones I've done so far have been multiplayer. Well, at least with other people talking in the background on Discord, anyways.
Gotcha. I'm going to catch up with the chat just real quick here. Let's see, we got Oregano says, chat, do I gotta get to work? Oregano, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And also says yes or no in chat. Farming with Outlaw, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hi, everyone. Oregano says, does chat say yes or no? I tell you what, do you got to get to work? I mean, if you are required to, then yes, get to work. If not, then, sit back, have fun.
I say no.
I say no.
I say don't work.
You say don't work. That's your vote. What about you, Will?
Yeah,
what's your vote?
Well, I mean, if you don't like your job, then stay home.
That's simple, I guess, right?
Ken says, hey there, Outlaw. We got Oregano saying, farming with Outlaw, don't just come in and interrupt. And Ken, don't ignore what I said. Okay. Calm down. It's okay. Everything's going to be fine, Oregano. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Ken says, yes. There you go. So go ahead and get to work. I think we got to what? Two yeses and 2 no's, I think is what we're at so far. Farming with Outlaw says,
I think.
What's that, Whiskey?
It's 50-50 right now.
50-50?
Yes and no.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Farming with Outlaw says, what does everyone think about the placeable feedlot pen? Oh, we're getting to that. Also says, the only thing I missed from the feedlot pack is the other fences options we had with the mod in FS22. Gotcha. Kiwi, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, hey, BDD and everyone. Ken says, what up, Kiwi Sim Farmer? Kiwi Sim Farmer says, chilling with working from home. Nice, nice. Benji says, all in all, why pen up calves when they want to run and jump? That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Benji says, hey to Kiwi. We got Benji saying, hey to Outlaw. Outlaw says, hey to Benji. Samuel Wilkinson Jr. says, hi, how you doing? Hope you have a fantastic day so far. And also says, I just subscribed now. Awesome. I appreciate it, Samuel. Appreciate it greatly. And it looks like I'm all caught up.
Let's see. Well,
Hey, Charles, how's it going? Long time no see. You're in my chat for a little bit.
Jonah, oh my goodness. So Jonah says, well, be like me and hide in the closet.
Oh, man.
We'll see again. It's one of those where, if you don't need the pay, then, you do what you want. If you're like some secret billionaire or something like that, and you're like, just going undercover to work, right? And I'm just going undercover to work and whatnot, just to kill time or whatever. Then
if I had that, if I had that, then I'd have like the most fancy PC setup, custom built,
No, I'm right there with you.
Making mods from home too, and doing PC stuff, farm some stuff,
Let's see here. So the next one's going to be Small Sawmill. This is by the Lord. This is going to be 28 by 14 megabytes to download. Well, I mean, this is like a small sawmill that does everything instead of like just some things.
So I like that it does everything. It's a bit on the smaller side, which is great. If you're looking for just a small, compact little thing. 29 megabytes to install, though, that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. I mean, when all things are said and done, it's not like it's a huge model. It's not like it's highly detailed. There are some things there that are, kind of, out on the outside and whatnot. But I don't know. I would have a hard time justifying the 29 megabytes to install this one. So this would probably be a pass for me.
Yeah. Let's see here. The next one's going to be a charging station with solar panels and storage. This is by Hot Online Team. This is going to be 8.42 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $55,409. Why are we pricing things at $499? Just put $56,000.
Because they're trying to be like real life. You know how everything's like 0.99 cents on the dollar for some reason?
Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, this is a very unique mod, and I like the idea about it, but I don't use electric vehicles.
Yeah, I'm kind of there with you. I mean, for less than 9 megabytes, if you're a user of electric vehicles, then, hey, this is going to be something that you can put onto your map and kind of chug away with. From a console player's perspective, there's nothing wrong with it. 9 megabytes to install and, $60,000 to place. I mean, yeah, if I was an electric vehicle user, I would say yes, go ahead and install this. But as I am not big into electric vehicles, this is one I probably avoid.
Right.
I like my diesels.
Yep.
I like my diesel powered stuff.
Yep. Let's see here. The next one's going to be Scrap for the Farm. This is by Setka.
You know what? I'm only going to tolerate so much more of you calling me names before I just say, you know what? I'm done.
Wow. This is going to be 6.97 megabytes to download. It's going to be $100 for the decoration. I mean, I absolutely like these. They're absolutely brilliant. Yep. They look fantastic.
I like my farm nice and clean-ish. Organized is one thing. Clean, no.
And here's the thing is, for less than 7 megabytes to install and $100 for the actual purchase price, I actually really like this. I think it's a really kind of a unique idea to have like junk littered around your yards, because there's plenty of farms out there where, there's plenty of this kind of stuff. Just the old
Yeah.
equipment just out there in the middle of the back 40 and all that stuff. And you had every intention of fixing it, just like I was mentioning before with the beehive truck, as I was alluding to. But I mean, this stuff happens, and I think this is brilliant. Yeah. I like it. 7 megabytes to install, $100 to purchase. Yeah, I would install this, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Make your farm look more realistic too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I can tell you one thing: my uncle's farm is not clean. I guarantee you that one thing right now. It's not clean.
Well, and that's the thing is, most farmers, like, they will just do things in order to move on to the next thing. Like, they're doing the most useful thing to make the farm survive. Cleaning is not necessarily the most useful thing for the farm's survival, unless it's taking up space that's necessary to utilize.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you have very little space to use.
Exactly.
Let's see. The next one's going to be Greater Poland House. This is by Rolseb. I guess you pronounce it. No, I'm not calling you any names there, BG. It's going to be a 19...
I'm going to give you a complex by the end of the stream.
Let's see. It's going to be a 19.0
megabytes. Will's going to need a soundbite by the end of the stream. I'm not calling you any names there, BDD.
It's going to be it's going to cost $30,000, which isn't bad, but you can't go inside of it. What?
Can't go inside of it. That's 20 megabytes to install, 30,000 to buy. I mean, that's a big file size for a house that you can't get into. Yep. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just, I don't know, just not my cup of tea. So this one I would skip over.
Yeah. Pass too. Yeah, pass.
Oh my gosh, Jonah. So he said, no, you're totally calling him names. Stop doing it, LOL. I'm not doing anything.
See, Jonah hears it too. You know what? Jonah, you got my back. I appreciate you, bud. Hey, just real quick here, catch up with the chat. We got, let's see, Samuel says thank you. We got Benji saying, hey, whiskey. We got Samuel also saying, hi from Watch at Mississippi. Oh, very nice, Mississippi. Ken says, welcome to the stream, Samuel. Midwest Ag, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, how's it going? Going fantastic, Midwest. Hope you're having a fantastic day as well. And then Ken says, that looks like Walter's old combine, LOL. I saw that. I had to get to that.
Let's see here. I absolutely love this next one. I got all excited over this one. So this is the John Deere 7J/7030. This is by Agritono. This is going to be 19.69 megabytes to download. I absolutely love this tractor. This tractor has a lot of customization to it.
So this one here is the perfect example of what you should do when creating tractors, in my opinion. This is my opinion here. Less than 20 megabytes to install, so it meets that 25 megabyte threshold when it comes to a tractor. It has tons of customizations, just like Will said. And it's just one of those that it's a nice looking model, nice looking mod. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's got the best of all worlds. Less than 25 megabytes to install. It's going to be a bit on the cheaper side. You're going to have a whole bunch of different horsepower ranges and a bunch of different options to work with. So all in all, yeah, install this absolutely.
Yeah, and
hands down.
So there's two different versions for the chiptune. But the highest engine horsepower you can go up to is 265, which isn't bad for a medium. This is a medium tractor.
Well, and considering it's less than $170,000 to purchase, that's not that bad.
Right. A good starting farm tractor.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Next one's going to be the Class Axion 920 960. This is by Mac featuring Ego Ryan. Ego Ryan? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. This is going to be 33.42
Stop butchering the
megabytes to download.
names there, Will.
I don't know how to pronounce half these modders' names. I try. Now, for me, I could see.
Just giving you a hard time.
See, I know, man. I know. See, I could see if it was this high, if you could open up doors and stuff like that, but you can't even do that. Like the Giants version of this is lower. It's like 24, 25 megabytes.
Yep. Yeah, so this is the exact opposite end of the spectrum of what I was just saying before. It's above 25 megabytes, so that one right there really kind of crushes it for me. You know, for the price ranges, it's going to be real expensive, so it's not like a money saver or anything like that. It comes with weights as well, so it's, I mean, that's going to be in addition to the file size, but it shouldn't be enough to make that big of a difference for a weight. All things said and done, personally, I would skip over this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So here, the next one is going to be the Lizard Fort. It's going to be the Lizard 4-Tracks 300. This is by Slucius Modding. He makes some really good stuff. It's going to be 16.19 megabytes to download. This, I think, is very unique, especially with the front loader on it.
Yeah, the front loader, the rear 3-point link. I mean, it basically is a more useful version of the Gator that we have in base game, the John Deere Gator, because it's got that rear 3-point link. But this, as opposed to the Gator, has the front loader tools, you know, to it.
Yeah.
I mean, $5,000 to purchase and 17 megabytes to install is not bad. Personally, I would not install it because I just don't use this kind of equipment. So yeah, all in all, I think this isn't bad, but not one that I would have.
Right. Let's see here. So the next one is going to be the Sodimac. Yeah, Sodimac MiG 8800. This is by USM or Universe Simu Modding. They make fantastic stuff. This is going to be 15.81 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $156,000. Capacity of 34,000 liters with a silage kit option, but it has a working width of 24 meters because this is also a manure spreader.
So if we look at kind of our closest comparables, you know, 16 megabytes is not that bad considering. Let's see, closest comparable that we have, manure spreaders. This is a 34,000 liter capacity. So let's look at, looks like the biggest one we have available to us is the Samsung US235 Dynamic for 30,300 liters. So this one has more capacity by almost, 3,500. This one is $156,000. The Samsung is $149,500. So you're only about $7,000 more expensive, but you are getting that slight bump up in literage. 24 meter working width with the Samsung. This has a 24 meter working width. So it's really, really close. It's really kind of in line with the pricing scale. What's that, Whiskey?
Your choice, what you prefer, kind of thing, too, probably.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, it's one of those where, it's all kind of in line, and it's not a huge price differential. So, for 16 megabytes to install, it'd be one of those kind of a push scenario for me because it's not a price savings. It's basically if you want just a little bit more storage for the price, then okay. But no, I would probably save the 16 megs and put it towards something else personally.
Right.
Yeah.
Same here. The next one is going to be the Massey Ferguson Trailer Pack. This is by Nico Do 55. This is going to be 23.64 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $11,730. You do have different capacities, so you got 7,050 liters to 13,250 liters. There is an auger wagon, smaller, large version.
So this one here for 24 megabytes to install, it's, I mean, it's got the auger wagon, it's got the trailers and all that stuff, which is all fine and dandy, but if we take a look at the closest comparable, which is going to be difficult, because I don't think we really have anything base game that's going to be anywhere near this. Yeah, the closest one I see here would be the Demco 850 single auger grain cart. For almost $70,000 to buy the Demco. This is $11,730. So it's significantly cheaper. It's significantly smaller though, but not by much, all things considered. You know, you're talking a maximum or minimum starting capacity of 7,050 liters. The Demco is 30,000. So what's that? That's 7, 14, 21, 28. So you're talking about 4 or 5 times the size. I mean, actually, everything all said and done, the Demco is going to be a better price per thousand. So yeah, no, actually, that being said, for 24 megabytes to install and the kind of price per liter, I'd probably just stick with the Demco.
Right. Let's see here. Yeah. The next one is going to be the Lizard 4T. This is by Zion. This is going to be 4.28 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $3,000, capacity 4,000 liters. I mean, if you're just looking for something small, just like haul grain around to like go feed your chickens or just move something small, I mean, yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's a hard pass for me.
So this one here, I would actually disagree with you. So there's 2 elements I look for when it comes to trailers. File size, less than 5 megabytes, not that bad. And price per liter is price per 1,000 liters is less than $1,000. This one hits that. It's 4,000 liters for $3,000. So if you're looking for a little cart, this is going to be a good one to go for because the price per 1,000 is going to be cheap. So all in all, yeah, I would install this.
The next one is going to be the Kroger AgriLiner PWO24. This is by Kazdan18. They also make fantastic stuff. This is going to be 7.93 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $20,000.
I mean, if you're looking for just a flatbed trailer that you can load stuff on, then yeah, absolutely, this is fantastic. And for less than 8 megabytes to install, $20,000 to buy, it's pretty much in line with what we have in base game. I do like the little flaps side doors that you can open and close. That's actually kind of cool. Yeah, all in all, I would say that this would probably be a good one to install.
Let's see. Yeah, the next one would be the Anderson Group Stack Pro 7200. This is by Hispano Modding. It's going to be $102,000 to purchase. Required horsepower is 175, and it holds 14 square bales. I absolutely love this. I was actually waiting for this.
So I'm right there with you. I love it too. Less than 14 megabytes to install, so not a bad file size. $102,000 is a little bit expensive considering that we have the Arcrusion FSX 6372 base game for $90,000. So this is an extra $12,000 for the same amount of bales. 14 bales is available for both trailers. The only difference is the loading mechanics. This one kind of squeeze grabs and kind of rotates and flops it in. The Arcrusion just kind of has that kind of swivel bale loader kind of thing. Both of them stack. Both of them kind of do pretty much the same exact thing. I do like this. I did and would install it. But you're going to be spending about $12,000 more for this one as opposed to the base game. So it's going to be come at your own risk kind of thing. But again, like I said, I would and did install it.
Plus the big difference too is that you can actually change the color on the Anderson, unlike the base game.
Yes, that is correct.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Kloss Quadrant 5300 FC Evolution. This is by NicoDo55. It's 8.55 megabytes to download. Required horsepower is 250. Price tag of $171,000. Can make your normal average size bales. I typically like this because I like how you can actually have it like the Evolution on the side or mixed in with the Kloss.
Evolution.
I think it looks awesome.
I mean, it looks fantastic. It's a great model, and yeah, they did a fantastic job. And for less than 9 megabytes to install, it's not that bad when everything's said and done. You're talking $171,000 for this particular baler. You know, it's the same thing. It's in line with the kind of base game model. It's basically boiling down to the
details or not.
The details, you know, the evolution and things like that. Now, I will say this has the variable working width, which is very nice. It goes up, you know, to various different sizes. That's fantastic. I love that. So for 9 megabytes to install, you can have a nicer looking baler with the kind of, you know, evolution stickers along the side, and you can have the wider working width. I would install this absolutely.
The next one is going to be the AgriSim Cultiplow Platinum. This is also by Hispano Modding. Absolutely love this. This means 9.89 megabytes to download. Price tag of $68,000. Required horsepower is 435. Has a working width of 8 meters. And this is a subsoiler. I absolutely love this.
So when we look at our base game comparables, first off, 10 megabytes to install, not that bad. This is a subsoiler. It's in the subsoiler category. This would be the largest subsoiler that we have available. The largest subsoiler base game is 5 meters. It's the Alpago K Extreme 11500 for $31,500. So this is about double the price, and the Alpago only requires 350. This requires 435. So it's one of those. You're getting about 3 extra meters of working with this one here versus the 5 meter Alpago, but you're spending double the price. You're not getting double the working width. So personally, this one I'd probably pass on because it's a significantly higher bump to this one for 3 extra meters. If it was doubled the working width, if it's 10 meters for this price, then I'd be all over it. But yeah, no, it's just too much of a discrepancy in the pricing scale for me to get on board with it.
And I absolutely love it, but that's just me personally. Next one is going to be the classic 2-row planner. This is by Dogface. Love the name. It's going to be a 2.11 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $2,750. You have a required horsepower of 20, working with 2 meters, a capacity of 100 liters.
So yeah, no, this is one of those small farm planters, you know, 2.11 megabytes to install, super small, super cheap, only requires 20 horsepower, so, and 100 liters of capacity. So one of those where it's gonna do the job. It's gonna do it very slowly because of the size, but it does have a good look to it. When all things are said and done, I love that kind of old school look that it has, and it's kind of got a charm. So would I necessarily use this for anything in particular? No, most likely not. But I could see if those people who have a small farm going would want to, for super dirt cheap and for not that big of a megabyte commitment, yeah, I would install it.
Your small farm shenanigans. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Lizard. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. It's going to be, let me say, the Lizard 525. This is by TM Modding and Vulex. It's going to be 2.37 megabytes to download. Price tag of $550. So
I'm convinced that second word is a curse in some foreign language. I don't know why, but just I have a feeling.
That's why I didn't say.
He's got that gut. It's just that gut feeling, you know.
Just the feeling.
It's that gut feeling, you know.
I don't like this. So I'm just gonna state that right now. I don't like it.
So 3 megabytes to install. You can have a bale capacity, or a manure fork for 250 liters, or a shovel for 500. I mean, this is certainly unique. I will give it that. It's definitely unique, and it's something that, I mean, I would never use personally, but I could definitely see the appeal of it for certain small farms and stuff like that. All that being said, I would install it if I was running a small farm, is to kind of keep the aesthetics, but not something that I would go out of my way.
Right.
You know what it reminds me of is, have you ever seen those toys for kids? Those little shovels. You get to sit down on it. Huh? Yeah, the sandbox toy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what this reminds me of. Especially this picture, this screenshot right here, where it has all these kind of like levers, it looks like. Yeah. Like, it just looks like you're supposed to sit in the back and just kind of
Right.
Am I wrong?
Will?
No. What's up?
Hey, Will. You know that small 2-row planter you're talking about?
Yeah.
Just talking about there? That one looks like that would go work well with those old tractors that just came out on the Mod Hub, too. Well, I think it was last week or so.
Oh, yeah, I like the old John Deere and the
tractors.
And the Porsche.
Yeah, those old ones there, the old open cab ones there.
Yeah.
Looks like that would work well with those there, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Just by looking at it, you know?
Oh, yeah. Whiskey says, hi there, WillT. What up? What up? Next one's going to be Lizard Box. This is by Dyson's Agri. This is going to be 3.46 megabytes to download. Yeah, $867 with a capacity of 1,000 liters.
I mean, again, essentially what this is a fancy trailer that you can hook up via 3-point. It comes in under the $1,000 per 1,000 liters. So for 4 megabytes to install, yeah, I would install this. I would put this on my game. Especially if you're running a small farm, I think this would be very beneficial to a small farm. But again, it's going to have a very hyper-specific use case that might be better used of that 4 megabytes elsewhere at the end of the day. So would I install this? Yes, if I can come up with a scenario that it would be useful for.
I agree. Agree 100%. Let's see here. Next one's going to be Central Warehouse Pack. This is by is that Camicator? Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's going to be $9. Wow. It's going to be 9.91 megabytes to download. This introduced the very first autoload trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know a lot of people were dying over.
Again, I'm one of them.
Yeah. I know you were one of them.
See, as I have said several times here tonight, as a content creator, these kind of unrealistic things, like I use these a lot in the background. Not in the foreground, not often do I use them in the foreground, but in the background, I'm trying to get things done as quickly as possible so I can move on to the next part of the story. So that having an autoload trailer now is fantastic. I did install this one for less than 10 megabytes to install, but I mean, the majority of this has nothing to do with the trailer. Even the trailer is like a bonus piece. Now, what this is mainly is basically a silo system for your palleted goods. It's essentially what this is. So it gives you the option to be able to, use it as silos. I think it's fantastic all in all, and Yeah, I installed it 100%.
Yeah, I got it on my PC, but not my Xbox. Next one is going to be Machine Hall. This is by DDIC 96. This will be 8.62 megabytes to download. You do have there's different kinds. So you got one with concrete walls, 60 by 30, which is $125,000. You got a hall with one door, which is 60 by 30. It's going to be $119,000. And a hall with two doors, exact same dimensions, 60 by 30. It's going to be $122,000.
So all in all, 9 megabytes to install is not that bad for, very cavernous buildings. It's very, very large, these buildings. It's not a style that I'm generally liking per se. It's definitely got that kind of European kind of Dutch style. That's going to be very hyper specific on a certain map. But all in all, I don't think that the megabyte is that bad. The purchasing price isn't that bad either. This is definitely something that if you're playing on a kind of European style map, that this would definitely be one to consider. As I'm not playing on one where this would really kind of fit in at the moment, I would not install this, but I would definitely look to it if and when I move on to a different style of map.
Right. So your next one is going to be Old Cowshed. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy. It's going to be 25.24 megabytes to download. Holds 35 cows. Price tag is $70,000.
So for 26 megabytes to install, that's a lot. That is a lot to install. But it's a nice looking model. I like the brickwork. I like the kind of the multiple brick tones that you can have on this as well. I don't necessarily like that I can't see inside the building from the screenshots, but I mean that's whatever. That is what it is. That's a personal hang up for me. 70,000 to buy, but 26 megabytes to install. I was just saying how the kind of hyper-specific look of the buildings, this definitely looks like the European Dutch model. So for the same reasons I said before, plus the file size for this one, I would be a skip on this one.
Right. Oh, I did too.
So I see the cow barn says it holds like 35 cows too. Base game without fence. You definitely have to expand the fence for that one for sure. Because that's not very many cows.
No, not at all.
Well, for the little cow shed, you can't, so which stinks. But next one is gonna be the wooden shed. This is by MA7 Studio. It'll be 16.98 megabytes to download. Your price tag of $32,000. And you can actually like remove the back wall, put it back up. You can in like this area where you can put a vehicle or dump grain or whatever. You can get rid of those walls or put them back. It's actually kind of interesting.
So copy and paste everything I said about the previous MA7 Studio mod and apply it to this. I think it looks amazing. It looks fantastic. But again, for 17 megabytes to install, that's really an up there file size for a shed for me personally. So although it looks fantastic, and I think this would fit very perfectly on a European map, specifically like a Pelinier or something, I would install it until I started playing on a different style of map, and then I would consider from there.
Right. So your next one is going to be the Wheelie Great Workshop. This is by Biggins. This will be a 5.85 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $5,300. And you can go inside this too, which is awesome.
So I do like this one. I do like this one for 6 megabytes to install for $5,300. You have yourself a little workshop. It's very highly detailed. I like that it's kind of built into this little shipping container. That's certainly unique. And you're able to go inside. So it's better than some houses that we come across.
Right.
So one of those where, yeah, I would install this.
Oh yeah. I have it on my PC. So, next one is gonna be. It's gonna be the. How did you pronounce this in your map tour?
Riso?
The Risu Forest. It's gonna be
Yeah, I think it's
380.
Riso.
Okay, it's gonna be 383.31 megabytes to download.
So this particular map, I really like this map. I really do. It's a basic forestry map, but there's a lot going on in it that kind of separates it from most forestry maps. It's got several fields on it, which kind of sets it apart from a forestry map. But for the most part, it is forestry. It's got a very basic kind of starting farm, so it's not something that you're going to go out and really like start out strong. You're going to want to expand very quickly. And it's got certain features on it, like breakable rocks, not contract rocks, but breakable just stones that are out in the middle of the fields. Now, the only bad thing about this particular map that I kind of came across is a lot of decorations that I have yet to be able to figure out a way to actually remove them, like stumps and like tree logs and stuff like that. So if there's a way to remove them, I just haven't discovered yet, and I haven't spent that much time trying to figure out how to remove them, then yeah, absolutely love it. I still do love this map. I think it's got beautiful scenery, nice undulations. The color palette's really sharp. All in all, I would definitely recommend this map to somebody who's into more of a forestry mindset. But if you're not into forestry, then this map's probably not going to be up for you, kind of thing. So, all in all,
Right.
yeah, I like it. It looks good. Give it a check if you're into forestry.
Right.
How many megabytes do you say it was?
Like 300 and change, 383. So it's pretty high up there. I've yet
a
to
lot.
figure out why it's so high, but I mean, there are definitely some unique models and buildings that are in it.
Well, it's better than Silver Run with like 2,000
Yes.
something though. For a
It's
forestry
definitely
map.
it's definitely not 1.3.
1.3. Let's see here. The next one's gonna be the Man TGX 18.500 4x2. This is by Kazan18. Be 43 megabytes. Price tag is $120,000. Horsepower is 500.
No.
Yeah, I would second that. 43 megabytes for a semi-truck is very expensive for the file size.
The semi-truck.
Yeah, for
And it's a European semi-truck at that, so definite no.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you figure, looking at the comparables here, let's see, 500 horsepower for 120 grand. Probably closest thing we have base game would be probably the electric version of the Volvo. That's 145,000. It's got roughly around the same power, but one's electric, one's diesel. I mean, all in all, it's about a push for the most part when it comes to the pricing, when taking into account of it being electric versus diesel. Yeah, just that 43 megabytes to install, I can't get my hand around that one. So, no, that one I would skip.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, this Volvo, the one that I like using, this Volvo VX 300, 500 horse, 170,000.
Yep.
Give or take.
Yeah, it's 149.5
base with no extras. Yeah. That's probably my favorite. What I use the most was because it's a awesome looking truck.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
So the next one is gonna be the Lemkin Vario Pack 110. This is by Nico Pixes. It's gonna be 4.86 megabytes to download.
So less than 5 megabytes to install, and you have various working widths of 4 to 6 meters, 30 to 50 horsepower requirement, and up to 20 grand to purchase. About the closest thing we've got. Let's use. We'll go with the larger end because we do have a large scale. The closest comparable for that is the Vaderstat Carrier XL625. That is 6.3 meters and $75,000 to purchase. The top end of the scale on this one for price is $20,490. So significantly cheaper. It's almost as big of a working width. The power requirement for the Vaderstat is 260. This one is 50. So
Right.
this one, all day, all night, I would install this. Absolutely.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Pavelli Rat Pack. This is by DD Mod Passion. It's 11.99
There's
megabytes.
rats in Farm Sim now.
It's going to be 11.99 megabytes to download. Price tag of $30,000. Now, if it's 180 centimeter round bales, it could hold 38. If it's 150, 42. If it's 100, I mean, if 100. If it's 1.25 meters, then it's 52. It can hold up to 52 round bales. And this is auto load.
I love it.
No
Absolutely
go.
love it. 12 megabytes to install. It's only 30 grand to purchase, so it's cheap. It's not that big of a file size, and you can have up to 52 bales of round, or 32 squares, or 24 of the big squares. So I mean, what's to lose on this? Auto load, absolutely love it. And it's just a unique looking model. I love how it's got these little like runner cables along the side of it that are functional. They will fold away. They will kind of, be there if you want them to. I mean,
Right.
yeah, you get different attacher types, different wheel types, auto load, manual versus regular. You can have different styles of trailers. Like you can have it branded for Case, Kloss, Deutz-Fahr, Fendt, JCB, John Deere, Kubota, Landini, Massey Ferguson, McCormick, New Holland, Steyr, Valtra, Zador. I mean, the possibility, like if you wanted to match a brand, then you can. It's fantastic. So yeah, it's one of those. I love it. I think it's going to be. It's worth the 12 megabytes to install, and having the large capacities to it. Fantastic. Absolutely love it.
Oh yeah, 100%. The next one is going to be the Farson PF 1.13. This is by Proximum. This is going to be 1.93 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $30,000. Required horsepower is 60. Capacity is 13,000.
So this one here for less than 2 megabytes to install. This is basically going to compete with the K brand RA142. That has a capacity of 11,900 liters. This one has a capacity of 13,000. So the mod here is a bit bigger than the K brand. But the K brand is 38,500. This is 30,000. So you get more capacity for less price. That's awesome. 2 megabytes to install. That's not a big deal. 60 horsepower for the mod versus 90 required for the K brand. So less horsepower, less money, more capacity. Install it all day, all night.
And it's not very much to install.
Exactly.
Yeah, man,
So definitely better for a console.
I have that installed. Absolutely love it. Next one is going to be the Lizard N012. This is by Zimov. I think that's pronounced it. It's going to be 4.38 megabytes to download. Price tag of $790. Working width is 10 meters. And you have two different capacities, which this does lime and fertilizer, and it will spread at the exact same working width for both.
So for 5
Nice.
megabytes to install, the capacity is, did it say capacity? 250, yeah, 253. So I mean, it's almost in line with the Salac RZK 300H. Salak has 300 liters. This one has 253. It looks like you can configure it to 326. So one of those, it's right in line. Now price, that's the big difference here. The Salak base game is 2,000. This is 790. So you're saving about half again the price, and the working width is the only other big difference. The Salak is 14 meters, this is 10 meters, but as Will said, this one does lime and fertilizer and does it to the same widths. The Salak only does fertilizer. So if you're looking for a small fertilizer spreader, I would definitely install this.
That's fairly cheap. That's cheap.
Right.
You sell a pile of eggs and you get one of those pretty much.
Exactly.
See, next one is going to be the Old Cowshed. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy. This is going to be 6.48 megabytes to download. Now, that's not bad. This is going to hold 40 cows and has a price tag of $50,000.
So 7 megabytes to install, 40 cows, 50,000. Not that bad. It's really not. Again, it's that same European style that's going to be hyper specific to a specific region in that country. So personally, I would not install this because of how hyper specific it is, and I don't think we even have a map that would be considered a Dutch map, which is, I believe, where this is supposed to, like, basically where it's supposed to hail from. So one of those that me personally would not install because it's very hyper specific. Even though the file size is not bad, the price isn't bad, the cows aren't bad. None of this is bad. It's just not something that's going to fit anywhere right now.
Right. No, I agree with that. Next one is going to be a beehive with 3 large frames. This is by Doodoo RGM.
Now I know you're making fun.
I am not making fun of you. So this right here is going to be 6.33 megabytes to download, price tag of $1,500.
I mean, 15 grand, 3 beehives, 7 megabytes. It's a good looking model. I do like it. Yeah, I would install this. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Next one is going to be a house from the 70s. This is by Konzi. It's going to be 12.80 megabytes to download, price tag $50,000. And yes, you can go inside this house, but it's very plain.
Yeah, it's very small, very plain. I mean, 13 megabytes to install, 50 grand to buy. It's not that bad. It's really not. I mean, it's designed to be minimal kind of thing. So one of those where I'm fine with it at the end of the day. I think this would be definitely one I would install.
Your next one is going to be the Crasher pack by DD Mob Passion. This is going to be 0.36 megabytes to download, price tag of $4,500. You can either have it left, right, or a portable wash view.
So less than, half a megabyte to install, $4,500. I mean, I guess it is what it is. I'm not too strong about this one in any direction. So I'm going to say that this one's a push and go from there.
Now, do you want to talk about this or you want to finish up the mods, then come back to this?
No, we can go ahead and talk about it. The next act.
All right. So the next one on the list is going to be the first DLC for the first quarter for the year 1 season pass. So this is the Nexac pack by Giant Software. It's got one machine, bunch of different attachments. I have watched so many reviews on this thing. I have heard very mixed things on this. I've heard it's fantastic for like huge maps, for like prairie farms, for like
it's good on prairie farms.
Like,
I was using it on prairie farms today, and it's pretty fun on prairie farms.
Like
it takes a little bit to get used to, but
also on like 4 fields, stuff like that. But you're not going to use this on like Riverbend, So.
Yeah, so
I'd seen, who was it, Farmer Cop on Riverbend using it.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was having a time and a half moving it.
This is one of those mods that, as we mentioned before, has a very specific purpose. You're right. Riverbend Springs would not be a good map for this. Something that's big, wide, and open. Now, the one thing that kind of bothers me about this is how it actually functions. And it's not anything bad about the actual model or anything like that. But what I'm saying is specifically like with planting, as a good example. So if we take a look at the machine itself, for those who haven't seen this mod in use, these front and rear wheels, the big ones there, what this will do is it'll drive down the road like this, just going straight across. And because of how large this thing is, it turns like a steamboat. Like, it is just absolutely abysmal to turn this thing. But when you want it to actually function as a machine, as a planter, as a harvester, whatever, these wheels fold in this direction. So it'll just start traveling in, this kind of horizontal motion. Now, the problem is that when you're planting using this, those wheels are on the outside of the planting area, which means you're going to have very large barren spots in your fields that are not going to have planting in them. And depending on how large your field is, that can be a big strip of land. I mean, these wheels are not small. That's going to take up a big strip right there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the way it is in real life. There's nothing to complain about in regards to the mod, the model, or anything like that. It's just the function of it that I have a concern about. But that's, again, that's a me thing, not a mod thing. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's a bit expensive for everything said and done. You figure the tractor, quote unquote, itself is $700,000, almost is $660,000, and then all the individual components are more than 150 grand each. So I mean, it's one of those. It's a huge investment right off the bat. So it's not something you're gonna, start out with on a average farm, and it's gonna be a very hyper specific use case scenario. Although I do like it, I'm glad that it's here. It's gonna be very, very difficult to work this in to like a natural setting.
Right. I mean, for being like the very first DLC, it's not bad. And it's definitely a lot better than the Interior Carrero pack from FS22.
100%. 100%. No, this, like I said, this is going to be hyper specific, but I can absolutely see this being used, in those scenarios, to where like the Antonio Carrero, like you mentioned. I mean, unless you did grapes or olives, you're not using those ever.
Right.
Because, I mean, why are you going to buy a mini tractor that, I mean, with high torque? I mean, outside of grapes or olives, that's the only real reason that you're going to buy them. So at the end of the day, no, I think that it definitely has a much bigger and more applicable use case scenario than the Antonio Carrero, and I think Giants did a great job with it. And I think that this is definitely a good pack to have. It's just there's going to be a lot of hurdles to be able to utilize it.
100%. All right. Time to move on to the next one now. So that next one is gonna be the Duotsfar 6215 TTV. This is by Blua. This is gonna be 28.24 megabytes to download.
So this one here just barely misses that 25 megabyte cutoff that I talk about. But it's a nice model. It's got, a couple of different options. I love the warrior look and the deep crimson deep green look that it has there, the almost black look. I mean, all in all, this just barely misses the mark for me. So this one
Right.
I would pass on, especially because I'm not a huge like diehard Deutz fan.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
was, then I would,
Yeah.
potentially, weasel this in there. But for 28, 29 almost megabytes to install, I'm
Yeah.
not tripping over trying to get this one in the game.
Right. Right.
No go for you then.
No go for me.
I hear that.
Same here.
Um,
It's not a
let's see.
case or John Deere or New Holland, so no go.
Here, the next one is going to be the SIP Roto 220F. This is by WolfX Modding. This is going to be 7.14 megabytes to download. Price tag of $3,900. Your required horsepower is 60. Working with is 2.20 meters. So 2.2.
So for 8 megabytes to install this one, that's a bit high for just a front deck mower. I mean, right off the bat, it's not huge, but that is a bit high for what you're getting there. Now, where this one kind of makes up for it is everything else. So closest base game one is the K-Brand GMD 3123F. That costs $13,500. This is $3,900, so it's almost 10 grand cheaper. The working width on the K-Brand is 3.1. This is 2.2, so it's a little bit smaller, about less than a meter smaller. So,
Right.
I mean, it's not that bad, and it's the same horsepower, 60 horsepower for each. So, I mean, is it going to be worth the almost 10 grand in savings for the 8 megabytes to install this?
No.
Oh, I'm going to struggle to say yes. So I'm just going to say no. It's not going to be worth it.
Yeah. Let's see. The next one is going to be the Rudolph Wegler DK280RP. This is by Nikki Agrar. It's going to be 4.37 megabytes to download. You have a capacity of 18,500 liters. Price tag of $32,500.
So 5 megabytes to install, not that bad. This one completely misses the mark for me right here. Capacity 18,500, price 32,500. You're talking almost $2,000 per 1,000 liters. Hard pass on that one.
Oh yeah, 100%. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Buyable Square Bales 120 by 70. This is by Herbie. It's going to be 0.95 megabytes to download. They're just different kind of square bales that you can buy.
Less than megabyte to install.
Don't we already have a mod like that?
Yeah, we've got mods that are pretty close to this. I mean, less than a megabyte to install if you're looking for just a kind of different flavor of thing here. I mean, I don't have any of the capacities or anything that these bales hold, but it's saying its hay bale is $975. Base game hay bale, which is 8,000 liters, is $1,536. So this is cheaper, but is it cheaper because it's smaller? That I don't know.
Right.
If I look at some of my other modded square bales for hay, Bible Bales Pack, that one there for the small one, the 1.8 meter is 2,992. And then going on even further to the liftable pallets. Here's one for, this is, okay, here we go. This one is the 180 centimeter bales for 1,250. That's the 6,000 liters. So again, this is just 975. This might be in line with everything that we have. So I don't know. I probably would skip this one because I feel like the liftable pallets and bales, as well as the buyable bales mod, kind of has that covered, and it comes with round and square bales as opposed to this one's just square.
Right. Now, this next one, when I saw this, I'm like, oh, I already know who's gonna like this one. So this is the Selectable Bale Capacity Pack by GH66 Mods. Be 27.12 megabytes to download. Yeah, it literally went through my head, and I'm like, oh, I think BDD is gonna like this one.
Yes, but I didn't install it.
Oh,
I do like this in theory, but 28 megabytes to install. I do like that Gaming Joy was willing to help out and give the wider pickup widths. That's awesome. And the extended capacities. Again, that's awesome. I just to have the extended pickup widths and the capacities. I don't know. Just I don't know. This one, I have a feeling there's going to be others that come down the road that are going to potentially fill in the gap here. So I kind of held off on this one, but if I'm wrong, I can have this as a backup in like my back pocket kind of thing.
right. Let's see your next one is going to be the Open Air Garden by Omatana. Oh, I absolutely love this mod. It's going to be 20.56 megabytes to download. There are multiple different gardens in here. Like you got ones that are highly detailed, like the third screenshot in, and then you got a massive one, like an absolutely massive one. And then you have a distributor.
Love this one in 22. I love this one in 25. This is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I'm disappointed about, the only thing. In 22, we could get cotton out of these. 25, we can't. So that's the only kind of taken away from this. Other than that, you can do all sorts of stuff. You can do all your base game, garden crops. Your cabbage, your Napa cabbage, your spring onions, garlic, so on and so forth. Tomatoes, strawberries, lettuce, all that. But you can also do potatoes, sunflowers, carrots, parsnips, beetroots, peas, green beans, spinach, grapes, and olives. All of those in this for less than 21 megabytes to install. Install this one all day, all night, because if you don't want to deal with grapes or olives, that number one right there is huge. You can increase your output by putting in additional inputs, like your seeds, your fertilizer, and manures kind of thing. Or you can just do your waters like base game. So,
Right.
And I love that in the wintertime, it gets these kind of covered greenhouses. I think that's just a brilliant idea. So yeah, all in all, love this mod, love this model. Omatana did a fantastic job. Yeah. Install.
Oh, yeah.
Install all day, all night.
100%. Next one is going to be the Lizard Silos by the Lord. I'm pretty sure these are from FS19.
Correct.
So we have 4.54 megabytes to download. So, I mean, you basically have the silo, small silo, large silo, and extensions. So,
I mean, 5 megabytes to install, and you get several different silos. They all look nice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I would install this.
I installed this one right here. Bridge Pack by Biggins. Absolutely love this pack. 4.76 megabytes to download. $100.
Yep.
Price tag.
I mean, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. 5 megabytes to install, $100 to put them down. I mean, what's not like about this? You've got several different models. You got several of them with lights as a kind of ambiance kind of thing. It's right. Fantastic. You got the covered bridge. You've got the kind of ones with looks to be kind of railings and fences and stuff like that. You got one with the metal railings. Yeah, you got some without railings. So if you're not paying attention, you're going to go into the water regardless of whether you have the bridge or not. So all in all, love it. Really, really love it. I think this is a brilliant mod to come out. I wish, the only thing that I wish was available with this is the ability to adjust the lengths. I wish that was the thing. Because there's several models in here that I do like, but they're fixed in their widths or their
right.
lengths. So it's one that you can't, you can only use in certain gaps.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be a small buildings package. This is by Barty. It's going to be 38.62 megabytes to download. I personally passed on this.
Yeah, kind of same here. Almost 40 megabytes to install, and it's, buildings and animal pastures and stuff like that. I mean, the models, they look fine. They look, they look really, really good. I like the kind of multi-brick exposure look to them. Kind of the old weathered buildings and stuff like that. It looks really sharp, but 40 megabytes, there's nothing in here that I've gotta have kind of thing.
Right. 100%. Let's see here. Next one is going to be a slurry selling station. This is by Shaba. This is going to be 0.42 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $6,000.
So this one, I like it. I really do. Less than a half a megabyte to install, $6,000 to place. If you want a place to sell digestate and slurry, and you want it to sell it at a sort of elevated cost, then yeah, it's fantastic. I think that this is really good. It reminds me a lot of, I think it's Missy B. Back in 22 had a model, not the same model, but the same kind of idea behind this one. But I like the model that's being used here better than the other one. The other one is like a huge selling point. It's really expensive. This one's cheaper. It's more kind of simple, kind of baseline kind of thing. Yeah, I like it.
Just let you know. So we got 8 more mods to go. And then we'll be done. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get to the news. Which is a bit unfortunate. But...
Well, real quick,
it's only 9 o'clock.
You live in the past.
Yeah.
So just real quick, let me catch up with the chat here. We got Ken says, that evolution baler spits out bales a lot quicker than base game balers, LOL. Oh, yeah. And then, which makes sense considering that you got the wider pickup widths and all that. Ken says, in New Zealand, we call those a carry-all, LOL. Yeah, so he's referring to the front 3-point link little carrier. And then Fearsome Rhino says, I wish it had the US version. That would be nice. And I believe that's in regards to the
next act pack?
Yes, I believe that was what I was referring to. And that's it.
Right.
What up there, Nate? How's it going?
Let's see here. Next one is the Frankenmuth farming map from Taylor Farms update. So this will be 349.91 megabytes to download. This will be version 1.2. Important to note, new save not required, which is fantastic. I'm not going to read this off, but basically fix the alfalfa hay bales so now you can use them in TMR. Added drain tiles to fields, and they will have water flow in the spring and autumn seasons, which I think is fantastic. So,
thanks.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch more that he fixed on this map.
So the one thing that I personally want to point out about this one that I'm actually very happy about is you can now sell tar dirt for a very small profit to the farmer's market. I personally love that. I love it. And here's why. I felt like the sugar beet pilers were, without trying to sound too mean, pointless. And again, I'm not meaning to come off really harsh about this, But the sugar beet pilers, all it did was you put in your sugar beets in, you got your sugar beets out, and the only thing that you got from it was that tar dirt. Now, it was supposed to be something that kind of represented a real life scenario, right? You would take the dirt, you go put it back into your fields, and kind of go from there. Because when you get these crops out of the ground, they're going to be coated in tons and tons and tons of dirt, and you put them through these machines in order to get the dirt back out. But the more and more you harvest, the more dirt is coming out. If you're not putting the dirt back, well, then you're basically going to be digging a hole in the ground, at the end of the day. So that's the whole point of this pack. But in the game itself, it just, I don't know, it always kind of left me longing as to not want to buy that particular mod or that particular production point, because the only thing you're getting out of it is your sugar beets back and the dirt kind of thing. Right. So it was just one of those where it really didn't serve a practical purpose to purchase, because you could just avoid it altogether kind of thing.
No, it does.
So now there's a point to purchase it outside of the realism factor, to where you could still, put it back in to the ground and make it disappear and all that stuff. Or you can take it to sell for, pennies on the dollar, but you can still do something outside of the realism factor.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Lipinky. This is by Greenack and Favory. I don't know how to pronounce that. To be 238.45 megabytes to download. So I'm not going to read this out, but I know added alfalfa. And just some bugs and fixes and some adjustments to it.
So it's nice to see they added alfalfa. That's really awesome. Yeah, a few fixes here and there. It's a nice map. I do like this one. It's a bit on the smaller side, but all in all, good. It's solid. The only thing I will say that's kind of a negative that kind of drives me up a wall is the main starting farm. The main starting farm about this map really drives me up a wall, and that's because if you look right here where my mouse is, there's a pond area that's right in front of your farm. You do not own it, and you can't buy the land.
Oh, that's stupid.
So it's right there next to your farm.
That is stupid.
And yeah, it's one of those that always drove me nuts. That when I did the map tours and all that, that's the first thing I noticed, is that there's a big buyable area. Not even big, but there's a buyable area, or a non-buyable area right in front of your farm, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, yeah, it is what it is. But that's kind of one that I wanted to point out.
Oh yeah,
nothing you can really do about it though.
Yep.
Next one would be the Crampy Big Body 650. This is by Julie 7250 and Chris. It's going to be 12.81 megabytes. Yeah. Okay, so that's a running joke because Bree and I have a friend named Chris, and so our other friend James, every time he'd see Chris, he'd walk by and be like, "Chris," and he'd like raise his hands up. So now every time we see him, we're just like, "There's Chris." So this will be 12.81 megabytes to download. It is changed on 1.1.0.0. This is small enough I could read it. Added configuration for additional rear lights and fixed unloading by the helper onto the tipper.
So this mod I'm not terribly impressed with. It already doesn't meet the $1,000 per 1,000 liter threshold. That already, kind of throws it out the window for me. But it's also 13 megabytes, which is, I think, personally a bit high for a trailer. Yeah, all in all, this one would be one I'd skip.
Oh yeah. Next one is with the Fliegl TMK 273 by G-Master. This is going to be 11.10 megabytes to download. And for some odd reason, it's popping up as an update, but it's still version 1. So I don't know what's going on with this.
Weird. So again, 12 megabytes to install. That seems like a bit much for just a trailer, but $45,000 to buy, 40,000 liter capacity. It's over that $1,000 threshold per 1,000 liters. Again, I'd skip it.
Oh, yeah. Next one is going to be the Dusseldorf. No, I'm not making fun of you.
I told you we were going to get a complex.
MSS3X. That's either 00 or 00. This is by Grobflecken Design, Simon.
Oh, now I know you're making fun of me.
Oh, I'm not making fun of you at all. This is going to be 14.88 megabytes to download. This is version changelog 1.0.0.1. Incorrectly positioned decal on MSS 3700 corrected, and mod description version increased.
So let me get this straight. You use a word like Globeflecken, and you expect me not to think that you're not making fun?
Right.
Anyways, 15 megabytes for some silage equipment for levelers. I mean, me personally, pass. Yeah.
Next one's going to be Front Cultivator. This is by DMI Jorn Profit.
Jorn Profit.
Yeah.
Oof.
3.99 megabytes. You don't really, you can't just put it as 4 megabytes.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be changelog 1.0.0.1. Fixed cache shader issue console. Raise mod description version.
I like it. I like this mod. 4 megabytes to install, 17 grand to buy. It's not that much for the install, not that expensive. Yeah, 4.5 meters to work with. It's good. I like it.
Wow. Next one's going to be Cone. This is by FA. This is going to be 0.45 megabytes to download, and you have changed 1.1.0.0. Added another traffic cone, like we needed more. Added.
It's like cowbell. You can never get enough.
Yeah, right. Added configurable flashing lights,
Always
orange and blue. Updated mod description version, and further bug fixes improvements. Yeah, see, I like that. The flashing lights, I think that's kind of neat.
I mean, me. That's about where I'm at on this one. Me. I mean, half a megabyte, it's not a big deal. At the end of the day, if you're wanting kind of a, a role-playing kind of decoration kind of thing, then yeah, okay, fine. Not one that I would install personally, because meh.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree 100%. And the very last one is going to be a concrete ring pack. This is by Weekend Farmers. 5.65 megabytes to download. It's going to be changed on 1.0.0.1. Fix warning that occurred when reloading the save game.
Uh-oh.
So, that's it.
Yeah.
That was everything.
I mean, 6 megabytes to install a ring, to make your trees look fancy. Again.
Not worth it. So, I mean, to be honest, though, I mean, there wasn't really that much news to really go over. It was just basically just a couple of things got sent in. Custom modding was nice enough to post this on the 13th. For newly submitted mods, 16 work days. For submitted mod updates, 12 work days. For failed and resubmitted mods, 5 work days. That's nice.
For sure.
And he did send a ticket into the mod hub team, and they, starting as of today, our time, not Mister. It's 9 o'clock. As of today, they actually are going to start testing this 4940 self-propelled sprayer.
Nice.
And as far as I'm aware, they're also getting 82 Studios stuff finally in testing. So,
Oh, I really hope we get
Nice.
some, like the global transport pallets or whatever they're called. I forget what they're called.
oh yeah,
That's
I
again,
want
that's
Trucker
a
Matsy's map.
who's what?
Trucker Matsy's map.
Trucker Matsy's map.
Gotcha.
Wasaka County. Based out of where he lives.
Just
Well, he can tell you about it.
I don't even follow Trucker Matsy's. I have no idea. Just to go over this news like real quickly. Yeah. Yo, Whiskey, I'm gonna be going over this news like real quickly because I do have to hop off here shortly.
Yeah.
So there's news from Ross and Mods, basically just bringing over his forage harvester. What's the word I'm thinking about? The hitch, so you can hook up different trailers and they can adjust. Pascal Kultz did say the June Heinrich ERE 120 has been converted and sent to Giants, which is like electric pallet fork. So I posted that there today. Those are new mods. From Rooster Mods, did say in-game reveal, basically just showing off their John Deere weeder, which has not been sent off yet. So still waiting to hear back from that. Then of course, new news from Star Spangled Mods, which I did find out their BDD that I will be getting a first look
Nice.
on his New York map. So I will be doing a live stream for that.
Can't wait.
And then JHE Modding basically just states that their Rolex, which I'm telling you, they stole that name from the watch company.
Or it is a watch company and they just moved into agriculture.
Right. Why is it made of gold? No, basically it states that it's in game and functional. That's all what that is. This person just said they just updated their storage, which that came out today or yesterday. From Patty Fan Modding. Yo, that is a nice shed though. So finally shed in testing. So that's in testing. So hopefully that will come out here shortly. I'm very excited for that. Then Pascal Kultz came out and stated vehicle workshop has been sent to Giants. So it's been a conversion. Custom Modding is making a Landau Ripper, like a plow, which I'm very excited for. Hispano Modding just posted everything that is pending or in testing. So like the Canervan Turbo 8000T, that's in testing. The AgriBusiness Multi-Plow that came out, the Anderson Group that came out, and the low loader Gale trailer. It says testing completed, so we'll see if that comes out or not. Posted that from Marcel. That was just the updates, mods. Yeah, and then as of March 10th, which is Monday, patch 1 came out for FarmSim VR. That's it. That's literally all the news. So like I said, well, it wasn't very much news, but I just wanted to go over it real quickly, though.
Whew, I don't know about you. I looked at my watch before we started, and it's several hours later. Time flies when you're having fun. Oh no, wait, time didn't fly. We did.
Time went.
So, now
Well, it's a lot better than some
the,
nights.
the, this might seem horrible for me saying this, and I don't want to seem like a horrible person. I hope that we get mods, but we don't get that many mods, because then I won't have to like fly through the news like that. But yeah, on the other hand, it's like give me all the mods,
Oh, it's so funny how there are certain times where it's like, man, I really hope we get some mods, or I hope we get some maps, and there's other times like, please no.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
About midweek ago, no, we've had enough mods already.
Well,
I don't want to do a midweek mod update,
And also a huge shout out to Whiskey for messaging me. I mean, I knew updates came out, but they were for PC Mac only. And then I got a message from Whiskey saying that there was a bunch of updates. So I went on there and yeah. So,
man, because I get him on my Discord there.
Yeah.
I get the updates to my Discord, and boom, da boom, da boom. I was going, how many are we having? Right. I think I heard somebody say like 72 to 75 updates today.
I kind of was at 57, I think. So
somewhere around there.
That's nuts.
So
in other words,
some poor soul over there in Germany at Giants is like, I am here on the weekends, and you all are having me put out mods on a Sunday. How dare you? What they use that global flocking. That's what they were saying. Globe flocking. How
like Monday,
how
Sunday
dare
night.
you globe flocking?
It'd be like Sunday night because they're 8 hours ahead of me.
Well,
at least in England they are. Germany's a few hours ahead of that.
See,
they're like 10 hours ahead of us.
See, here's the thing. I personally think that someone was in Giants doing this. Some people were, because they have so many mods that they have to be tested, and they're behind.
Sure.
That I think now that they're either they worked on Saturday and posted these for today, or someone was actually in the office today. Because there's no way that many updates would have been tested on Friday and scheduled for today.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I've heard people complaining too a lot about Giants is taking forever.
Yeah, I
make our own game where we have our own testers.
Whiskey, I don't want to get into that, because I already got into a massive argument with someone over this already. Because it is a nightmare and a half. And I basically I backed Giant Software up, and I was like, listen, like, they have over 2,000 mods, maybe a little bit less than that, sitting waiting to be tested right now. Like, there are still mods sitting from December still waiting to be tested. So, because they got a lot going on. So, and okay, BDD, you know who Roughneck Modding is, right?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I should say I know of them. I don't know them personally.
I tore him a new one in his comment section, because he kept on complaining about Giants, and he goes, "This is why I should have stuck with PC only and not going to console." And I basically told him to shut up in so many words. And I was like, dude, listen, if you don't want a mod for console players, go back to PC, because I'm getting tired of hearing this. Like, Giants are busy. Like, they don't work for you. They got other mods that have to be tested and everything else. So, I mean, just be patient. I haven't heard anything from them. So,
yeah, I mean, it's one of those where I can understand where the frustration's coming from, but at the same time, it's one of those where I don't know. There's a fine line between both ends of the position, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just one of those where, you know, I'm just thankful that there's modders out there that are willing to put in the extra effort to go to consoles, you know, because obviously I'm on console.
Yeah.
So I appreciate, you know, the extra effort. I wish that it was a bit easier on them. I wish it wasn't, you know, as much of a headache, you know, to put out mods for all platforms and all that stuff. But, you know, from at least one console player out to all the modders out there, thank you for all the extra effort that you put in. Thank you for everything that you do. Yeah, like I said, there's certainly a fine line. There's certainly a fine line, and I can see where everybody's coming from all perspectives.
Well, yeah. Well, no, 100%. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end. I don't know. If BD's gonna continue streaming over on his end, but on my end, I'm gonna be cutting loose. I have to go to bed. I have to be at work by 7:45 in the morning.
Oof.
But I get out at 4:15, thankfully. So, but if you guys haven't yet, if you want to stay updated to new mods, news, and make sure you go follow me on Facebook over at WillTGaming Encyclopedia. I post everything over there. That's and either I'm the first person to post it, or I'll get a message from BDD saying, "Hey, did you see this?" And also, if you haven't yet, make sure you please smash the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified whenever I go live or post a video. Also, make sure you hit the like button, share as well. Also, stay tuned because I'm still waiting to hear back from Star Spangled Mods. But I will be doing a first look on his New York map. And
can't wait.
And from what I was talking real quick before I hop off, I was talking with Celebuki, and Elma's already in testing. So,
ooh boy,
nice.
Crossing fingers here. So we'll see.
Can't wait. That's gonna be a fun map.
Once that does get released, I will have a dedicated server popped up on there for people. So
sweet.
Beauty,
I think I'm getting one server too. I just don't have a PC. Probably get something running off of it though.
All right, guys. Well, I hope all you guys take care. Stay safe. I'll see you guys later.
All right, boss. You take care. I'm going to be on for a little while longer, so I will catch you later.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right. Take care, bud.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya, Will.
See ya.
All right. Let me catch up with the chat here just real quick here. So I believe I left off with Fearsome Rhino saying, "Good, going good, man. You?" I'm doing fantastic, Rhino. Thank you for asking. Yeah, doing absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love this show. I love doing this show on Sundays. Being able to chat with Will and other guests who come on, like Whiskey here. Being able to talk about the news, the mods, the maps, things like that. Kind of, you know, going around and just kind of showing off what I think of them. Not from a kind of intrinsic value or anything like that, but from a console player's perspective. That's what I try and approach this as. I don't try to make any like judgment calls or anything like that when it comes to these mods. For the most part, I try and look at it objectively, and that's what the whole point of this show from my aspect is to be able to show, hey, this is how I, as a console player, look at it. These are the kind of parameters I look for and what I deem important, and therefore, you know, do I think other console players will appreciate, you know, the use of these kind of mods as well. So that's kind of where I stand on it. But I love being able to chat about the mods, being able to chat about maps and news and all that stuff. This is where I get to learn, you know, all the kind of stuff that's happening in the future, what, you know, happened throughout the past week kind of thing, and take a deep dive into, you know, into them without going like so deep. It's like, okay, this is what this mod does, this is what this does, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I like it. Samuel says, new ATV at Farming Simulator 25. Yes, that ATV mod that came out, I believe is from Sluch's Modding. Yeah, it's a nice mod. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great. Not something I would use on my personal gameplay. Both as a kind of like a personal like conveyance kind of thing, and as a kind of tool around the farm. Let's see. Samuel also says, "Hey BDD, is on next live stream start time? I believe that's supposed to be when is my next live stream. So I don't have scheduled times. The only scheduled one I have is this one here. This was always going to be Sunday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard for AgriBusiness Tonight. Outside of that, it just really, really, really depends on what's going on. So I actually currently have several different series, several different projects I'm working on. I have my Let's Play series, which is coming up next. I'm hoping to record that episode tomorrow, and that's actually going to be the last episode of the Let's Play series on Riverbend Springs. Going to be moving over to a new map. I've been having a little bit of difficulty with loading that file, both with mods, without mods. For some reason, something happened here recently. I've been struggling to get in. So it's one of those that I'm able to, I got most of the episode recorded. I've got a couple of other things I need to put in there. So I'm wrapping it up, wrapping up that episode. After that is recorded and put out to channel members, it sits for typically about a day before it releases to general pop at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard the day after it's recorded. So let's say I put it out at midnight the day before, or the day of, I should say. It'll release at 5 p.m. that same day. It could release earlier than that and give like almost a full 24-hour, well, actually closer to about 12-ish hour run cycle. When it releases on that day, typically that evening is off to hang out with the family and all that stuff. The only thing that derails that is if there's a map that releases or anything like that. That's other things I do for the channel, is map tours, map updates. I'll go through in depth to the change logs on maps to show off what happened for updates. Outside of that is the regular live stream, which I'm performing on Cambridge. On Oak Ridge Farm is what it's currently titled as. So I'm doing a series on that one. That's another live stream that I do. And then finally, the other projects I'm working on is Farm Sim Talk. And most recently, I've done a show with Farmer Cop. That occurred on last Friday. What was that, Whiskey?
That was fun.
I loved it.
With Farmer
I absolutely, yeah. I love that that episode of Farmer Cop. Such an awesome guy, such a great guy. Super nice. It was great to talk to him and great to get to know him on a deeper level. And yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, if you haven't seen Farmer Cop's interview, look on my playlists on my channel there. I've got a whole Farm Sim Talk playlist. You'll see Farmer Cop is the most recent one there. If you also type in Farm Sim Talk and Farmer Cop, or just Farm Sim Talk full sentence stop, then you'll be able to find it. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I've done several other Farm Sim Talks where I've gotten to interview other creators within the Farm Sim space. Did one with the Shanty Boys before that. Did one with Rambo Hacker Gaming.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Oh, you're breaking up there.
Old Gamers Lane and Wayne.
Yep, Old Gamers Lane and Wayne.
Lane.
Yeah, sorry, Whiskey, you're breaking up a little bit. But yeah, Old Gamers Lane and Wayne did one with Rambo Hacker Gaming.
I have my heater going.
You got your heater going?
Nope. That's what causes it, I think.
Really?
Is my heater. Yeah.
Yeah, because see, right now you sound fine.
Weird.
Yeah, very weird. But no, so yeah, I've done almost 24 separate interviews with creators throughout the farm sim space. Gaming Joy, there was Farmer Sim, uh, yeah, and every single one of
Her,
them been really, really been very privileged to be able to get to talk to these people, get to know them a little bit deeper. Um, yeah, I've been absolutely loving that series. That one is basically, uh, shoot from the hip, schedule it when I can. Why Not Gaming is another one. Absolutely, Benji. Thank you. Um, yeah, no. And if I'm missing anybody, I apologize. It's certainly not intentional, but yeah, I've been absolutely digging that series, being able to get to know these people a bit deeper, getting to hear the stories, and that's what I'm loving the most is the stories about these people are telling. It's been so cool. Yeah, Gold Gaming was another one. Yeah, just loving it, loving it. And if there's creators out there, like I said, map makers, modders, uh, YouTubers, Twitchers, the whole 9 yards. I'm trying to get a hold of anybody and everybody who wants to tell their story and be able to kind of go from there. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. Let's see. Fearsome Rhino says, gotta love when save don't want to work. Yeah, and that's it exactly. I don't know what happened, but it's just all of a sudden I'm struggling. It'll get about I don't know, about 80%. And I turned off all the mods to see if I can get in there, but it gets to about 80% and it just chugs and chugs and chugs and does nothing.
uh,
And if I, yeah, you're breaking up again, Whiskey. I don't know what's going on, but what will happen is it'll
is that
dive
better?
up. That's better. There you go. But yeah, it'll sit there and just chug away. And if I jump out of it, go back in, jump out of it, go back in, a couple like 2, 3, 4 times. I've had it once where I was able to completely restart the console and then get into it, with no problems. It's weird. It's just I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know why it's happening, and it's only that save file. It's only that one because I'm able to get into this one here, where I'm just kind of chugging away in the background, kind of thing. Able to get into this one no problem. I'm able to get into my live stream over on Oak Bridge. That one's fine too. Don't know what the story is, but that's what's going on. So gonna be wrapping that one out, and gonna be kind of going from there. Samuel says yesterday crazy bad weather, severe outbreaks, tornadoes, EF5 at Taylortown, Mississippi South. Wow. 3 people were taken at Taylortown, Mississippi. Prayers for people at Taylortown. Yeah. Wow, that's awful. Yeah, definitely thoughts and prayers with them. That's awful. That's terrible. I didn't even hear about that. Let's see. And Samuel says, I'm at Vicksburg. Okay. Where is that in comparison to, let's see.
Mississippi.
No. I'm saying like where in the state compared to Taylortown, Mississippi. Okay. I'm just looking it up on my end because I unfortunately don't know where that is. Oh, that doesn't do me any good. Where's Vicksburg? Let's see. Okay, so Taylortown is, what is that? That's almost right there by Louisiana. There's Jackson. Okay. All right, well. That's crazy. And Fearsome Rhino says, is it you lag? Possibly lag. I'm not quite sure. I'm looking at my connection here, and it's good, strong connection, so not quite sure what the story is. But it is what it is. So Whiskey, how's how things going on your channel?
Good. Growing. 100 something subscribers now. So yeah, I think we're at 100.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on your end there, bud. It's you got all robotic on me. Whiskey, can you hear me? Uh-oh. Hey, Whiskey, can you hear me? Oh, hello?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Yeah,
Hello?
I don't know what's going on there, bud, but you're getting all robotic and stuff. I'm not quite sure.
Weird.
Yeah. Not sure, but I think we're going to be starting to wrap things up here because, yeah, we
Yeah.
got, it's about 1 o'clock and I've got to be up in the morning. So just like Will there, I don't have to be up as early and I certainly don't have to travel anywhere because thankfully I work from home. But, yeah, no. We've been building this up in the background, and let's see. Benji says I'm 16 away from 1K. Oh, nice, Benji. That means before too much longer you can be
Nice.
monetized as long as you got enough view hours. That's awesome. Like fully monetized, not just
Partially.
not the
The first
partial. Yeah,
stage.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome, bud.
Yeah, my.
Oh, and there's the robot again. I don't know. I'm sorry, Whiskey. I don't know what's going on your end, but it's just not cooperating with us here tonight. Oh. Yeah, sorry, Whiskey. Like I said, not sure what's going on, but it's just fighting you something fierce. Like, it's getting real robotic. But, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and start signing things off. Let's see. First from Rhino says, I can say the hard part is the 1000K. Everything else is just fun. Yeah. Yep, 100%. Benji says, watch hours are not there yet. All right, well, I mean, that all comes with time. I mean, plain and simple is that, like, the watch hours will come. The subscribers and finding the base, that's the difficult part. So if you're getting up to the subscriber count, and eventually you'll get to you'll get there to the watch hours. So just going to take a little bit of time, but yeah, no, I think that's awesome, bud. Keep on keeping on, and you'll get there. You'll get there absolutely. And I think. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good opportunity to go ahead and sign us out from here. I want to thank everybody who came out to AgriBusiness tonight and hung out with us here tonight. Whiskey, thank you so much for hanging out. Unfortunately, the connection didn't seem to be the best, but that's okay. We'll forgive you this time, Whiskey. Just kidding, just kidding.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, I want to thank everybody who came out tonight. I had an absolute blast, as I always do on this show. Like I said, getting to talk about something that I don't get to talk about, but except for once a week. I always look forward to Sundays. So, yeah, like I said, hope you all enjoyed it, and hope we were able to show off some cool stuff here tonight. And if you did enjoy it, please show us by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy doing. The shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.